Hi everyone, welcome back to X10 Manhwa. Today, we are recapping a story called I'm Going to Destroy This Country. Let's get started. So get this, our boy here literally used up all his lifetime luck to hit the jackpot. But in a cruel twist of fate, the doc tells him he's about to kick the bucket anyway. In his final moments, he desperately begs the universe, "System, please, just let me live!" And what do you know? Isaac actually gets isekai'd as a bald-headed skeleton. But through pure grit and grind, even as a trash-tier skeleton, our boy Isaac powered up and evolved into the Lich King, the absolute goat of the undead. For hundreds of years, Isaac single-handedly resurrected the entire demon race from the ashes. But it wasn't for fame or glory. It was all part of a divine contract with the world. See, if Isaac completed his mission, the gods promised to turn him back into a human. And today is the day he finally cashes in that IOU. Leaving his underlings behind in the demon realm, Isaac ascends to the heavens to meet the gods. All right, I've done everything you asked. I hope you haven't forgotten your end of the bargain. You're going to turn me back into a human, right? But life ain't a fairy tale. Instead of honoring their promise to make Isaac human again, these absolute fraud gods decide to permanently seal our boy's soul into a freaking bug. A moment later, somewhere else. My head. Glad to be conscious again. How could I let those gods trick me? Is it because I'm a hollow-skulled skeleton with no brain? When he fully regains his senses, Isaac realizes he's in the body of a child. A human body? Did I actually become human? There's no way those backstabbing clowns suddenly had a change of heart. Did something go wrong with the seal? As Isaac is deep in thought, a voice rings out. "Oh, little saint," a maid cheerfully exclaims. "The saint has opened his eyes." "Saint? What's that about?" While Isaac is still processing, the maid continues. He was sleeping so peacefully, but now he's awake. A male servant chimes in. "Yeah, it'd be great if he could just go back to sleep," as he shakes a milk bottle. "Who are these people? Have I really become human? Guess we have no choice." "I feel a little bad," the maid says, sporting a grin that does not match her words. Still, a job's a job. So, sorry, little saint. We know you just woke up, but we've got to put you back to sleep. Nighty-night, saint. Isaac watches the male servant slowly bring a very suspicious-looking bottle towards him and thinks, I just died once. Am I about to get clapped again already? Realizing the danger, Isaac squirms and refuses the bottle, making the male servant antsy. Why won't he eat? Isaac sharply turns his head away, thinking, in your dreams. I fought too hard to become human again. I'm not falling for such an obvious trap. For now, I need to figure out how this even happened. Be a good boy, eat up so you can sleep forever. I mean, have a nice long nap, Sir Isaac? Hearing his name startles Isaac. Did he just call me Isaac? Everything starts to click. Isaac remembers how his demon minions used to mistakenly call him King Isaac. That must be it. That long-haired god probably carved the name Isaac onto the bug seal instead of his real name. That's why he wasn't sealed away. And on top of that, he got reincarnated into a body with the same name? Those gods were so smug and careless, they let him slip right through their fingers. Thinking about this, Isaac, our new Isaac, cracks a huge smile. And that big smile gives the male servant the perfect opening to shove the bottle right into his mouth. Isaac immediately uses all his strength to push the bottle away. The male servant struggles to hold it in place, yelling to the maid, "Give me a hand! Why is this kid so strong?" The maid rushes over to help force the bottle, and the liquid inside floods into Isaac's mouth. Is this vegetable juice? It tastes horrible. Are they trying to off me with this garbage drink? I just became human. And then a strange sensation starts surging through his body. Meanwhile, at the central church of the holy nation of Helen, by now, that kid should be taken care of, right? Just as Bishop Masabarat is gloating to himself, a powerful voice echoes through the hall. You seem to be in a good mood, Bishop. Masabarat looks up to see Alexandro Hekav Heola, the emperor of the holy nation of Heolan. He quickly bows his head respectfully. I greet the son of the holy nation. Bishop, what brings you here? Alexandro Headgraf asks cautiously. I've come to see the saint candidate from the Joshua family. When it concerns the saint, the Holy See cannot simply stand by, Masabarit replies with a smirk. Alexandra Hekov gives him a knowing look. I see. So because it's about the saint, you came personally? But if another incident happens to a saint candidate nominated by the Holy See, that would be very bad. Haha, what could you possibly mean by that? Before Masabarit can finish his sentence, a piercing scream from the saint's room grabs everyone's attention. Young master, he's... Hearing the maid's panicked voice, Masabarit smirks and follows the emperor as he sprints to the saint's room. What happened to the saint? The emperor demands, bursting through the door. The maid stammers. The young master, he's so adorable. The tense atmosphere instantly evaporates. Look at that round little belly. How cute. He's eating so well. Is this the legendary little angel? Look, he's already finished 15 bottles of that awful vegetable juice. While everyone is gushing over the baby, Masabarit grits his teeth, thinking, impossible. He's still alive? After drinking that much, how is he completely fine? That wasn't just any ordinary vegetable juice. Backtracking a few minutes, Isaac feels that strange energy surging through him. Am I going to die a pointless death again? Wait a second, It was a lethal poison for priests, designed to destroy their holy power. It doesn't work instantly, but a sufficient dose is fatal. But this poison is made from the demonic energy of the demon race. For me, a former demon king, this is top-tier stuff. I can't believe they'd give me such an amazing gift. I freaking love it. I won't let this nutritious meal go to waste. So after that, Isaac didn't fight back. He actively grabbed the bottle and chugged it down. He even threw a fit, demanding more after finishing, which completely baffled the two servants. Is he asking for more? I think I can understand what he's saying. The more he eats, the happier we are. The poison, the veggie juice won't kick in right away anyway. The male servant says, happily grabbing another bottle for Isaac. Awesome, absorbing demonic energy is the best. I don't know who poisoned this stuff, but they're a genius. All right, time to think about my next move. With that, Isaac closes his eyes. I'll leave the world of perception and enter the world of subconsciousness, diving into the deepest part, the primordial world, to create a mana core. I'll be safe in here. Now, let's get to work. I will gather all the demonic energy I've absorbed into a mana core. I need a mana core to use magic, so if I want to cast spells later, this is a must-do. Suddenly, the mana core in Isaac's hands glows, startling him. He thought it was a mana explosion, but it wasn't. A normal mana core appears in one of 3 basic colors, but this one is white. No, the color isn't the problem. I haven't even collected enough mana for a tiny core, so what is this insane amount of energy? It's way beyond my expectations. Just how many blessings were bestowed upon this fragile body? At this rate, I'm going to become a monster far more powerful than I ever imagined. Survival. A powerful will has been etched into this soul, a frantic desire to live. It became the origin of the Skeleton King and helped him create countless unique skills and buffs. And now, I've inherited that entire legacy in this new body. While Isaac is creating his mana core in his subconscious, back in the real world, the two servants see him lying motionless with his eyes closed. He's really dead this time, right? Go check. Just as the maid finishes her sentence, Isaac unexpectedly raises a single finger, signaling for one more bottle. It makes them want to cry. How is he still alive? Back to the present, Alexandra Hedgecuff, seeing that Isaac is fine, breathes a sigh of relief. So it was just a false alarm. Yeah, nothing to worry about except the swift assassination attempt, Isaac thinks to himself. Then he tilts his head and happens to notice Masabarit's strange expression. What's this? What's with that look he's giving me? Is it because I ate too much? No, this could get messy if I'm suspected. I need to act like I don't know anything. Time to put on an innocent smile. And just like that, Isaac musters up the cutest smile he can manage for Masabarit. But this just makes the bishop's face darken even more. What's with this brat? That much poison should have made him cough up blood and die in agony. And yet, he still has the energy to laugh at me? A few days earlier, at the headquarters of the Holy See, Cardinal Hirai Barit, who is also the head of the Barit family, pours himself a glass of dark red liquid. The one who becomes the saint will control the entire holy nation. It's ridiculous, but now everyone and their mother is claiming their kid is the saint. Even those lowlifes. Behind him, Masabarit places a hand on his chest and says respectfully, "Please rest assured, my lord, we will take good care of the saint candidates." Hirai Barit chuckles softly. Of course. But I've heard some unpleasant rumors about a saint candidate from the Joshua family, the very family known as the Emperor's right hand. Hearing the strange tone in Hiraibarit's voice, Masabarit breaks into a cold sweat. If it's them, then we can't. Before he can finish, Hiraibarit throws the glass of red liquid onto the carpet near his feet and says, "When you get there, the child is to be considered already dead. All you need to do is confirm that fact. I'll handle the rest." The saint must come from the Barrett family. Back to the present, Masabarit sees Isaac grinning from ear to ear after chugging all that poison and grits his teeth. He was supposed to be dead for sure, so why is he still alive? Impossible. At the same time, Alexander Hekov has walked up to the crib, observing Isaac. He laughs. How interesting. Shiny platinum hair. Isn't that the hair color of the founder of the Holy Nation? Am I right, Bishop? Masabarit panics. Your Majesty, you can't say such things. Isaac looks at Alexander Hedgecuff in surprise. This guy is the Emperor? Alexander Hekov glances at Masabarit and smiles. Why not? I could even say this boy is closer to the gods than the current Pope, as expected of the final candidate for the title of saint. Hearing this, Isaac is shocked. What? I'm a saint candidate? Now, I get why they keep saying saint this, saint that. Masabarit, however, is freaking out. This is bad. The Emperor is starting to favor this brat. I can't let this continue. With that thought, Masabarit puts on a smile and steps forward. Your Majesty, may I examine the child for a moment? Alexandra Hekov asks suspiciously. Oh? For what reason? Masabarit explains, this isn't normal. There's no way a newborn could handle that much vegetable juice. Alexander Hekov retorts, are you saying a saint candidate isn't allowed to eat a monk's diet? Isaac thinks to himself, a demon king like me becoming a saint candidate, the irony is insane. Masabarit presses on, just to be safe, please allow me to examine the boy. Alexander Hekov shuts him down. The people from the Joshua family will be here soon. Let's wait until then. Your Majesty, Masa tries to persuade him further but stops dead in his tracks when he sees Isaac burp up a tiny wisp of demonic energy. Isaac realizes his mistake too and quickly covers his mouth. A bit of undigested demonic energy. Am I busted? Anxiously, Isaac looks over at Masabarit and sees the bishop staring right back at him. After a few seconds, Masabarit suddenly grins. Your Majesty, I just sensed a suspicious aura coming from the child. Oh my, it's very suspicious indeed. Isaac's heart sinks. This bastard, did he really see it? Masabarit continues. This child could be a fake candidate who wields demonic power. We need to report this to the heresy investigators immediately. Hearing this, Isaac knows for sure the old man saw his slip-up. He curses internally. Damn it all. As for Alexandra Hedgecuff, he explodes with anger after hearing Masabarit's accusation. How dare you? How dare you say that about a precious saint candidate? Masabarit calmly smiles. Your Majesty, please don't get emotional. After all, the Pope has already declared the child of the Barrett family as a saint candidate. Alexander Hekov is taken aback. He wants to put his own person in the saint position? What nerve. Isaac is fuming. So that's it. He wants to eliminate me for that reason? Just then, Masabarit picks Isaac up and continues, well then, someone call the heresy investigators here. Isaac silently curses. You son of a... He's panicking, not sure what to do, when he hears Alexandra's voice. Boom! Wait! The Joshua family is one of the royal family's most loyal allies. Therefore, as emperor, I demand you postpone the examination of this child. Masabarit counters, I understand, Your Majesty. However, the Pope has stated that the Crown Prince's investiture ceremony will only be held after the saint has been decided. At that, Alexandra Hekov's expression changes drastically. If I don't support the Pope's chosen child for the saint position, they have no intention of proceeding with the Crown Prince's ceremony? Isaac notices the Emperor's expression and worries, these cheapskates, this is bad. Masa sees his advantage and smirks confidently. If you don't want to hand him over to the Holy See, we can confirm it right now with my exorcism spell. If this child is normal, he'll be safe. But if he's a demon, he will die. Just as Masabarit spits out the last word, Isaac smashes the milk bottle into his face, making him spit out a mouthful of blood. Isaac sees one of the bishop's teeth fly out and thinks with satisfaction, you old geezer, hit me again, I dare you. I'm just an innocent little baby, after all. At the same time, he puts on his most adorable smile to complete the act. Masabarit, however, is not feeling the cuteness. He's in pain, thinking, what was that? That bottle and that hit? The people around them are in awe. That child is definitely the saint. Masabarit stares intently at Isaac. It's true, I can feel holy power inside his body, but that strength just now was... As he's thinking, Isaac gives him a few more good whacks. While hitting him, Isaac cheerfully thinks, "How dare you disrespect this king? Eat some more." Masabarit now has a guess. Is this demonic energy? The others have noticed something too, especially Alexandro Hekov. He now wears a triumphant smile, watching the golden light that flashes with every one of Isaac's hits. Isaac keeps swinging, thinking, I'll use an enhancement spell to make the bottle harder. All I need to do is play the part of a cute, harmless baby. Soon enough, the crowd sees Masabarit drop to one knee, and they exclaim, "The bishop has been moved by the holy power!" Isaac smirks at Masabarit. How about that? Just then, he notices the golden light on the bottle himself. Huh? What's this? It's faint, but every time I use demonic energy, a small amount of holy power appears too. These two forces are supposed to be polar opposites. They can't be used together, right? Does this have something to do with that white mana core? As he's pondering, Isaac suddenly realizes Masabarit has snatched the bottle from his hand and thrown it aside. Then, the bishop glares at Isaac before turning to Alexandro Hekov. "I swear to the heavens, this brat is a heretic! We need to perform an exorcism immediately!" Isaac sighs internally. What a certified bastard. While the bishop is still ranting and not paying attention, Isaac slips his hand into the man's chest pocket. "You forced my hand. But don't you have a very interesting toy in here?" The totem used to seal the corpse of a high-level demon. This artifact exploits a demonic trait of absorbing mana by eating the flesh of their own kind. This guy has kept it well hidden to avoid being hunted by other demons. As he thinks this, Isaac pulls out a demon arm wrapped in cloth and bound by a cross-shaped rope, radiating demonic energy from Masabarit's pocket. Masabarit is completely horrified by this sight. How could a newborn baby possibly know about this? The thought barely crosses his mind when something even more terrifying happens. Isaac throws the totem onto the floor, snaps his fingers, and thinks, "Stay safe, you bastard! Since you're so fixated on targeting me, in return, I'll let you witness something special. Try defeating this, you clown." And with Isaac's snap, the totem springs to life, the bandages slowly unraveling. A massive amount of demonic energy erupts from the arm in an instant. Everyone in the room feels the immense demonic power and warily eyes the arm. Someone cries out uncertainly, "A demon!" Alexander, while cautiously watching the newly appeared demon, roars at Masa. Why is a demon soul appearing here? Bishop Masabarit, what is the meaning of this? "You kept a demon on your person. Have you lost your mind?" Masa retorts, "Can't you see? The child is the one who took out the totem." Alexander points at him accusingly. "A totem is an item used to seal a times dead times demon. How can a dead demon be revived?" He then commands his holy knights. "Men, protect the saint from the demon soul and the bishop." "Yes, sir," the knights shout, drawing their swords and charging the demon soul. One of them rushes to Masa, snatching Isaac from his arms. Masa stands there frozen, trembling. Why? Cradled in the holy knight's arms, Isaac smirks at Masa. He got what you deserved. He was planning to gauge the bishop's strength by watching him fight the demon soul. But when he looks at the demon soul, he finds it staring right back at him, screaming, "Saint! Saint! Destroy the saint!" A giant question mark appears over Isaac's head. What? The answer becomes immediately clear. The demon soul's target is Isaac. "Destroy the saint!" it screams again, lunging right for him. The holy knights see this and immediately form a defensive line in front of him, shouting, "Protect the young master!" Isaac is confused. What's wrong with this demon? I'm the one who revived it, so why is it targeting me? A moment later, Isaac decides he doesn't care. Whatever, with the holy knights protecting me, I'm perfectly safe. The thought has barely formed when he sees a holy knight get sent flying by the demon soul. Isaac gives the fallen knight a skeptical look. Are these guys really holy knights? Meanwhile, the demon soul has already knocked away several more knights, blocking its path, and reaches its demonic claw towards Isaac, roaring, "Destroy the saint! Rescue the demon king!" The holy knight holding Isaac is trembling in fear as the demon gets closer, clutching him tighter. Isaac, however, is completely unfazed. Oh boy, looks like I have to step in and handle this clown myself. Why are so many people trying to take my life in this world? Isaac then lifts his small face, coolly watching the claw approach. I freed you, and in return, you try to attack me? You insolent little demon! With a mental shout, a wisp of demonic energy flashes in Isaac's eyes, directed at the demon's soul. Instantly, the demon's soul's movements freeze. Because in its worldview, what stands before it is no longer a newborn saint, but a majestic skeleton king looking down on it like a pathetic insect. A second later, a divine golden light suddenly erupts from Isaac, illuminating the entire room. The demon's soul, in particular, is almost completely enveloped by this golden light. Terrified screams escape the demon's soul's mouth. While everyone is still stunned and staring at Isaac, it slips out the door as fast as the wind. A holy knight sees it and shouts, The demon! The demon is trying to escape! But no one reacts. Their eyes are fixed on Isaac, who is radiating divine golden light. Holy power. That's definitely holy power, right? Sir Isaac defeated a high-level demon, incredible at his age. As expected of our young master, Isaac looks down at his own hands, from which golden strands of light are emanating, and ponders. What is this? Is it really holy power? What the hell is going on? My demonic energy is completely drained. Unbelievable. Is this strange body converting my demonic energy into holy power? Wait, if that's the case, how am I supposed to gather demonic energy? Mana is already scarce enough in this holy nation. At the same time, Masa has been restrained by the holy knights. Still, he struggles and shouts, Let me go, you fools! That brat is a heretic using demonic magic. How dare you demons set foot in the holy nation? Your Majesty, please, let me prove it. I'll use an exorcism spell to show everyone his true face. Alexander roars. Enough, Bishop. You dare to slander an innocent saint candidate as a heretic, and even release a high-level demon in front of the holy knights? Even if you are the Pope's man, don't expect me to let this slide. Hearing this, Masa's face turns ashen. He knows just how grim his fate will be. The seeds of doubt have been sown. Sooner or later, the spies planted here will be captured. If that happens, it will be a huge blow to the Pope's power. Even if it costs me my life, I must find a way to save my family. If it's come to this, then at the very least, I must eliminate this saint candidate. With that thought, Masa grits his teeth and secretly draws a magic circle behind his back. When the formation is complete, a lion-shaped beast is summoned and lunges at Isaac. So, you finally show your true colors? Does he really think he can kill me with such a weak attack? Isaac thinks about to use his mana to deal with the beast when he remembers he's completely out. The beast gets closer and closer. Suddenly, Isaac spots a magic attack flying from the doorway towards the beast, taking it down in an instant. Following that, a young man enters the room with a few others and declares, Who dares to touch a child of the Joshua family? The newcomer is the seventh son of the Joshua family, Rilai Joshua. The holy knights in the room are in awe. It's the Blue Saint! The Knights of Joshua have arrived! At that moment, Rilai points at Masa, kneeling on the ground, and orders, Arrest that bishop immediately! Yes, sir! The knights following Rilai shout and immediately comply. Masa tries to resist, screaming, Let me go, you Joshua hunting dogs! How dare you touch me with your filthy hands? Isaac, like a little old man, strokes his chin in thought. Wait a minute, Joshua, I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before. Just as he's trying to remember, Rilai speaks again. Show your reverence. At his command, the knights with him all kneel before Isaac in unison and shout, It is an honor to meet the young master of the Joshua family. Isaac is amazed. Look at their discipline. It's even better than the royal knights. Rilai approaches Isaac and says with a smile, Sorry I'm late, Isaac. It might not fully make up for what happened, but we brought you a little gift. As he speaks, Rilai gestures to one of his knights. Isaac follows his gaze. When he sees the knight reach into his chest and pull out something sparkling, he can't help but wonder, Ooh, is it gold? Or a bag of gold? A second later, the item is presented to Isaac. It's a figurine of the skeleton king being executed. The knight continues, pulling out several more figurines. There's also one of him being burned alive, and another of him being crushed by the saintess. With each new figurine, Isaac's face gets more and more stone cold. But the people around him see it differently. The young master is so cute, so adorable. Look how much he likes it. He loves it so much he's crying. Isaac is speechless. He worries about his future, thinking, How am I supposed to survive in a family full of absolute lunatics? But wait, Joshua, I remember now. It's that clan of saintesses who kept trying to beat me. As he thinks this, flashbacks race through Isaac's mind. I am Sojo Sua, the 45th generation saintess. I am Sojo Sua, the 61st generation saint. You are not worthy to know my name. Remembering this, Isaac feels a headache coming on. They all came from the Joshua family. Oh, great! Not only was I born as a saint, but I was born into a holy clan too. What heinous crime did I commit in my past life to deserve this punishment? While he's lamenting his fate, Masa is still struggling. You Joshua bastards, he's definitely a heretic. Where did you even pick up that brat? I will expose your true colors. You dare to harbor a monster? Has the Joshua family rotted to this extent? I will purify this entire Joshua family in the name of the gods. Riley draws his sword. He slashes it across Masa's neck, creating a small cut that shuts him up, and says coldly, "Be grateful that the Joshua family's tolerance is the only reason you aren't being beheaded right now." Isaac thinks, oh, this guy seems pretty useful. That attack to shut the bishop's filthy mouth was great. I wonder if he's planning to use this as an excuse to confront the Holy See. He then looks at the holy knights surrounding him. Young master, you have been wronged. You should only see good things and hear pleasant things. Listening to them and seeing their attitude towards him, Isaac can only sigh in exasperation. What a bunch of idiots. I'm actually starting to miss the Blue Knights from the Joshua clan. They were the real strong ones. Among my old subordinates, there was even one who was psychologically obsessed with the color blue. Just then, Alexandra speaks up. I've troubled you all this time. By the way, Joyline, could you please inform your family head that the royal family wishes to adopt your young master? Riley looks at Alexandra and asks, Your Majesty, you must be joking, right? Isaac is surprised. What? The royal family wants to adopt me? Alexandra says, the whole world is targeting your young master. You surely know this better than anyone. I don't deny the strength of the Joshua family, but is it enough to protect this child? Especially since the Pope seems very displeased with him. One of the main reasons is that the child's hair color is very similar to the founder of the Holy Nation. It's even possible the Skeleton King is targeting him. Isaac thinks to himself, no way. I'm times the Skeleton King. How can I target myself? After some thought, Riley speaks up. My sincerest apologies, Your Majesty, but this child carries the blood of the Joshua family, so we will raise him at any cost. Whether we face the Pope or the Skeleton King, the Joshua family is more than capable of handling them. Besides, the previous saintess, Melissa, has always longed to meet the Skeleton King again. Alexandra says softly, That's right. Riley continues, Then the Joshua family has even more reason to keep and raise this child, who is a direct descendant of the saintess Melissa. Cradled in Riley's arms, Isaac hears the name Melissa and exclaims internally, Melissa! The final opponent before I attacked the human world? That Melissa? The most formidable and insane saintess I ever faced? Not only was I born as a saint candidate in a holy clan, but I'm also a direct descendant of Melissa. What kind of messed up fate is this? The legend of the saintess. After being defeated by the Skeleton King countless times, they decided to create the saintess as their ultimate weapon. A staff created by the gods to punish evil. The mighty blue lion of the hunting army wielding holy light. The greatest light of the holy nation. The highest level of a light knight. With the superior combat power of the saintesses, it was believed the Skeleton King would soon be defeated. Her attack and defense were nearly on par with a god, her vitality was cockroach level, she could self-destruct if needed, she was inhumanly beautiful, grew stronger over time, and had a very long lifespan. However, the Skeleton King was ruthless. Isaac thought to himself, I never killed a single saintess, because doing so would be like shooting myself in the foot. Killing a saintess would cause all their holy power to return to the gods, which would allow those frauds to create an even stronger version. But that last saintess, Melissa, she was insanely strong. And now she's my ancestor? Riley, with a look of adoration, continues. She lived her entire life just to witness the demise of the Skeleton King. The Joshua family is the birthplace of saints whose mission is to eradicate anything that dares to oppose the gods. I am certain the Joshua family is capable of protecting this child. Alexandra frowns slightly in thought. A holy knight suddenly speaks up. That's right. Do you know how many saintesses have died at the hands of the Skeleton King? Isaac internally screams, That's a lie! I didn't harm anyone! The knight continues, one was trapped in a labyrinth by the Skeleton King because he didn't think she was worthy of a fight. Isaac thinks, I let her go. How was I supposed to know she had a terrible sense of direction? And there were 5 other saintesses who died from rage-induced illnesses, a curse left behind after confronting the Skeleton King. Isaac fumes silently. Seriously? If you're sick, go see a doctor. Riley sees Isaac's face turn red and coos. Don't worry, my dear. We'll take care of everything. Even if it's a curse, we will definitely protect you. Hearing this just makes Isaac angrier. Am I the only one who's pissed off about this? Then, Riley lifts Isaac up and says with a smile, his arrival in this world is a great happiness. His parents only had one small wish, that he wouldn't grow up to be like that demon, the Skeleton King. Isaac, with a constipated expression, thinks, to my parents whom I've never met, sorry to disappoint you. Alexandra speaks up, Riley, please reconsider. It has been 150 years since the Skeleton King was sealed. Isaac is shocked. It's been that long? That means Melissa's dead, right? I think she was already 50 back then. Alexandra continues. While the demon race grows stronger, the saint is the key to helping the holy nation regain the upper hand. This child is truly important to the royal family. Moreover, there is no longer a saintess residing in Joshua. It has been a year since the saintess gave birth to this child and disappeared with her husband. Isaac is startled. My mother was a saintess? Riley says, even if they are no longer here, he is. The Joshua family is still more than capable of protecting this child. Isaac holds his head in his hands. Okay, I don't think anything can shock me anymore. The fact that my mother was a saintess is enough. But just as he thinks that, he hears Alexandra say, isn't Lady Melissa on her way to defeat the Skeleton King's minions? Riley replies, she will return soon. She is very eager to meet her descendant. Hearing Melissa's name again, Isaac buries his face in his hands and groans. Oh my God, she must be 200 years old by now. Why does she live so long? Alexandra says, it seems it will take some time for her to return. The child's condition is a bit strange. Is he all right? Riley replies, he's fine. Isaac internally screams, this is fine. What could be worse than hearing your old enemy is still alive? If that witch Melissa finds out, I'll be burned at the stake for sure. Anyone but Melissa, the one person I absolutely don't want to face right now. To survive, this is the only way. An idea pops into Isaac's head. He reaches out his hands and grabs Alexandra's finger. With an adorable smile, he seems to say, Emperor, please take me with you. Alexandra is delighted. Oh, this child, look, he clearly wants to come back to the royal palace with me. Riley says, he's just very clingy, your majesty. Alexandra pulls on one of Isaac's arms and says, there are many things the royal family can provide for him. Although the Joshua family has produced many saints, when it comes to childcare experience, you are still lacking. Riley also grabs Isaac's other arm, pulling him towards himself. This child is destined to become an exorcist knight who will destroy demons in the future. The Joshua family is the most suitable place to train exorcist knights. Besides, he's the first saint in history. The royal family doesn't have experience with that either, right? After that, the two of them start a tug-of-war over Isaac. The royal palace is better. No, it has to be the Joshua family. Feeling like his body is about to be torn in half, Isaac cries out in silent agony. A holy knight sees this and quickly shouts, please calm down, you're hurting the young master. The two of them stop, but neither lets go of Isaac. Isaac thinks, I've already chosen to go with the royal family, so please let go. I don't want to die yet. Besides, my survival instinct is manifesting as light, and it's all pointing towards the Emperor. That means I have a higher chance of survival if I go with the Emperor. I can't miss this opportunity. At the same time, the arm Alexandra is holding begins to shine with a blinding golden light. Alexandra smiles. That's a wise choice, Saint. A second later, Isaac exclaims in his mind, this is. That night, in a deserted place, Masa kneels on the ground before a group of hooded figures, pleading, it's unfair. He clearly used demonic energy. I am certain the child is a descendant of the Demon King. The leader of the hooded figures speaks, holy power, bestowed by the gods, is something a lowly demon can use? The moonlight reveals the speaker to be none other than Hirai. At the same time, behind Hirai, another hooded figure draws a sword and approaches the kneeling Masa. Masa is terrified. It was definitely demonic energy, my lord. How could someone like me mistake holy power for demonic energy? Hirai says, "At the Holy See, we despise the words you have just spoken." Your Eminence, Kamasa, only gets out those 3 words before his head is lopped off by a single sword stroke. Hirai gazes indifferently at Masa's headless corpse and continues, "They are blasphemy against the gods." Behind him, a hooded figure says, "I will reassemble a team to complete this mission." Hirai replies, "No need, the Emperor has already taken the child. In the royal palace, we will have plenty of opportunities to strike. Let's take advantage of that. This time, make sure to eliminate the target." At night, a group of men in black hooded robes stand waiting for orders from their leader. The leader smirks sinisterly. "The Emperor will take the child with him anyway. There will be plenty of opportunities in the royal territory, so we'll plan for that later." Thinking of the saint candidate who survived their failed assassination attempt, he hisses venomously, "This time, that brat will definitely die." On a beautiful morning, bright sunlight shines through the window. At this moment, Isaac is sound asleep. Under a clear blue sky, an exquisite carriage is escorted by a large procession. Inside, Isaac thinks, "I'm heading to the Joshua estate." When he heard this news, the leader of the hooded group was quite shocked. The men behind him thought anxiously, "Wait, my lord." A few days earlier, a brilliant light flashed in the room. Isaac was stunned. What is that light? It was so bright that even while being held by the Emperor, he had to cover his eyes with his tiny hands. Why is it so bright? My eyes! The light was radiating from Rylai. He was saying, "Yes, your majesty, Joshua is not a good place to raise a child." He places a hand on his chest, bows slightly, and says, "You probably think it's just a place full of demon corpses and manacores." Isaac thinks, "Is your will to live really that bright?" As Rylai continues to show off, his face in Isaac's eyes shines like a searchlight. The most valuable thing at Joshua is, at best, the corpse of the Skeleton King. Hearing this, baby Isaac freezes in astonishment. An image of a dry skeleton lying in a wooden coffin with its hands crossed over its chest flashes in his mind. "What? My body? You have my body?" He grabs Rylai's index finger with his tiny hand as if to complain, "You should have said so sooner." Rylai, who was still talking, pauses, noticing his nephew's action. Even so, Joshua is, "Huh?" Isaac's other tiny hand forms a fist and points with its index finger. He babbles something that, to him, means, "Look here, uncle!" In the Emperor's arms, Isaac smiles like an angel. He grasps Rylai's finger. "To Joshua, then." At that moment, his uncle Rylai is overjoyed. He blushes with emotion and calls out his nephew's name, "Isaac!" Back to the present, blue skies, white clouds, and golden sun. Lying in the crib inside the exquisite carriage, Isaac has his hands behind his head and his legs crossed, watching the scenery fly by. He thinks, even if I get dragged out of the royal family and into the military, if I want to get my body back, I have no other choice. He fondly remembers his mana-filled skeleton body, the body that I trained with mana until it was on par with the gods. If I can get it back, even level 10 magic will be a piece of cake. Remembering Rylai's face, shining as bright as the sun, Isaac analyzes. Besides, that was the first time I'd seen the light of survival desire burn so brightly. Following my uncle to Joshua will be very beneficial for my survival. Of course, Isaac isn't alone in the carriage. Next to his crib is Rylai, and sitting opposite is a commander of the Blue Knights. He asks, "Why are the Pope's forces pursuing young Master Isaac?" Hearing the question, the baby also curiously sits up to eavesdrop, thinking, "I have the same question. Why are they in such a panic?" Rylai looks at his nosy nephew and explains, "Because we received a prophecy from the gods. They said the saint would become the child of God." Isaac is startled. The commander continues, "Meaning, he will be the next pope." Rylai replies, "Exactly. That's why the Barik clan wants a saint of their own." Listening to them, Isaac's face darkens. He frowns and silently curses, "What kind of bizarre plot development is this?" The Pope is the most powerful cleric, capable of using level 10 holy magic. He's basically a king to all the priests and holy knights. In the Holy Nation, he's a figure whose power is nearly equal to the Emperor's. Isaac analyzes, for thousands of years, the Barrett family has produced the popes. That's why they're freaking out at the thought of a saint stealing that from them. So all the other families want to produce a saint too. Suddenly, the carriage stops. There's a commotion outside. The two adults in the carriage look out the window. Rylai opens the window and sticks his head out. "What's going on?" The driver nervously replies, Young Master Rylai, we've reached the duchy, but there's a small problem. While he's explaining, in the distance, the gate guards approach. Two men in the back cross their spears, signaling no entry. The leader holds up a hand to stop the procession. Sorry, but you cannot enter the duchy. Curious, Isaac thinks. Now what is it? Rylai angrily opens the carriage door, steps down, and scolds them. How dare you? Don't you recognize the Joshua family crest? What kind of education did you receive? The opponent smirks, revealing sharp fangs. Of course, you can't enter. Then the three of them transform, their fangs and claws appearing. We must eliminate the child who inherits the bloodline of the Saintess. A blue knight exclaims, Demons! Even Isaac, peeking out of the carriage window, is surprised. What the hell? I'm sure I gave a strict order forbidding them from attacking human territory. What the heck is the new Demon King doing? The lead demon laughs and declares, Listen up, you lowly humans. Our revered king has ordered the immediate and unhesitating destruction of all saints and saintesses. Hearing this, Isaac knows his suspicion was correct. Knew it. The new Demon King has taken the throne. The demon continues, In the name of our great skeleton king, King Isaac, we will take the saint's life. He angrily mumbles, In the name of what monkey? When did I ever say that, you idiot? The lead demon laughs menacingly. If you leave the child behind, His Majesty the Skeleton King might spare your lives. The moment he finishes speaking, a powerful blue lightning bolt strikes the talkative lead demon. When the lightning disappears, the demon has been turned into a charred corpse on the grass. The two remaining demons scream in fear, You lowly holy knight. The holy knight grits his teeth. You dare say those words to an exorcist of the Joshua family? I see you don't want a simple death. Rylai points his sword at the two demons blocking the gate. Listen here. He brings the sword to his chest and recites an oath to protect all the small things in this world. With both hands holding the sword at his chest, its tip pointing to the sky, not only Rylai, but the entire troop of blue knights behind him do the same. They chant in unison, The Joshua family will destroy all evil. We will chase you to the ends of hell to annihilate your kind. Rylai smirks mockingly. I can't believe that evil Skeleton King would send his minions to retrieve his own corpse. This statement seems to have provoked the demons. They immediately charge, You lowly human, how dare you? One of them rushes forward and shouts, Blaspheming against Demon King Isaac, for the revival of His Majesty, King Isaac. At this moment, the commander of the Blue Knights has carried Isaac out of the carriage. Just as they exit, the carriage explodes. He dashes away at lightning speed. My apologies, young master? Being carried away, Isaac doesn't understand what's happening. He's curious. What's going on? Is someone impersonating me? After retreating to a safe distance, the commander stops. He places Isaac on the ground. Please wait here. He creates a blue protective barrier around the boy and says, I'll be right back. Isaac is surprised. A protective barrier? He touches the barrier. Even a high-level demon couldn't break through this. It's really strong. He analyzes happily. Since nothing can get in from the outside, it means nothing from the inside can get out either. Then Isaac closes his eyes. In that case, survival instinct, activate, release magic. He calmly sits cross-legged, closes his eyes, and controls his magical power. Hear my call, you who were born of magic yet possess intelligence, observer. The moment the observer appears, it flies into its master's arms like an excited puppy. My glorious master, my owner. Isaac communicates with it telepathically. Yeah, I know. Long time no see. Be quiet or we'll get caught. It calms down. I thought I would never see your great face again. He also sighs. I thought I was done for too. Looking at the ghost, happy as a child, Isaac thinks, It's been a while. Whisper, although it's a scouting spell, it also has its own consciousness. I created it because manually using scouting magic and analyzing the results was too tedious. Over our journey, it developed a personality, but it's still quite naive. It praises him. Your wickedness is as great as ever. Congratulations on seizing the body of an innocent child. Hearing this, Isaac snaps, Hey! The ghost flies around the barrier, wondering, What did those filthy gods do to my master? No matter how evil my master is, I can't believe they put you in this dirty child's body. Isaac gets annoyed. Enough. Go find the enemy. The ghost obeys. Beginning now, and with that, its magic begins to spread into the air. Now, I will scan within a 100-meter radius. After the scan is complete, it looks at the battlefield between the demons and the Blue Knights. Report, 88 enemies, all monsters. Beings like them could never compare to you, my great master. Isaac is shocked. Are they crazy? Wait, 88? Are they trying to start a war? Thinking about the possibility of more guards, he worries. It'll be a hassle if security in the territory gets stronger. Summoning my subordinates will be harder too. It's gotten this bad, I have to finish this before the Joshua family catches on. Inside the barrier, he bows his head, determined. Even if I have to use all my mana reserves, I have to do this myself. The ghost sees this and wonders, huh? It pays attention to the battlefield and continues to report. There are now 51 enemies. It seems a bit surprised itself. The number of enemies is decreasing rapidly. Now there are only 31. Isaac is dumbfounded. What? All of a sudden? The ghost reports, now 13. On the battlefield, the Blue Knights fight while staying vigilant. One reports, young master, something is coming. Rylai immediately commands, all troops, defensive formation. Not many demons left, the ghost says. Only 4. The demons look up. Finally, you've arrived, brother. A demon feels a surge of excitement. Together now. Today, we will take the saint's life. The newly arrived demon looks like a shadow. It whispers, the saint? The remaining demons are ecstatic. Only the Skeleton King will. Before they can finish, a purple shadow flashes past them, finishing them off. Seeing the unexpected turn of events, the group of Blue Knights is also startled. The ghost next to Isaac happily says, no more enemies, but Isaac frowns with worry. A lich appears in the middle of the battlefield. Its presence makes the knights hesitate in fear. The ghost reports what it sees on the battlefield. I have discovered a shadow lich. Unaware of what set it off, the lich is furious. You dare lay your filthy hands on my king, you will pay with your lives. Being targeted by the lich, Isaac's face darkens with worry. Now, what's wrong with this one? The lich's eyes are sharp. My king, my one and only master. It flies into a rage. And you dare to imprison him in the body of this lowly child? The demon soul has unleashed its twisted emotions, directed towards Isaac, the one who freed it. It looks at the knights below and scolds them, do not look at that child with your disgusting eyes. The lich threatens, or I will gouge them out. Below, the commander of the Blue Knights quietly asks Rylai, young master, what is this demon saying? The truth is, humans can't understand the demon language because they speak in a completely different tongue. Inside the barrier, the little ghost beside him laughs happily. Oh my, it's chaotic out there. Isaac is speechless watching the scene unfold. Looks like that bastard realized I'm the Skeleton King. His effort in tracking me down is commendable, but on the other side, an order has been given. All knights, listen up, ready for battle. The men respond, yes. They are ready to charge the lich. Seeing this, Isaac becomes even more frustrated. Why did it have to appear so blatantly? From behind, inside the sturdy barrier, he flails his arms and legs, shouting in a baby's babble that no one but him understands. Hey, you guys! Don't touch my property! That's my supersized mana core! Seeing his young master making a racket, the commander is startled, worried he'll attract the demon's attention. Young Master Isaac, please just wait a little longer. I'll handle. Before he can finish, he hears the lich's loud laughter. It looks towards Isaac, covering its face like a blushing maiden, and laughs with delight. My master recognizes me. The guide of my destiny has officially acknowledged me. Not understanding what it's saying and only seeing it laugh, the commander feels a bit panicked. Young Master Xylai, this demon is provoking us. Immediately after, it ignores all the knights and zips straight to Isaac. I will be by your side immediately, your majesty, my master. Rylai quickly spots the lowly creature targeting Isaac. The lich approaches the barrier where Isaac is and continues to curse, You filthy holy knights! How dare you lock him up in such an unclean place? Isaac is secretly pleased. Oh, great, this guy sees me. He's overjoyed as it approaches. I don't have to watch my mana core get exercised anymore. He commands it, First, help me break this protective barrier. It happily raises its claws. My lord. Then it slams its claws down on the barrier. As you command, the commander screams in terror, Young master, the barrier! Rylai is also horrified. Isaac! Meanwhile, Isaac wears a triumphant smile as he sees the barrier shatter. He grabs the lich's hand, his mana flaring. "Well done," he praises. Immediately after, he starts absorbing the mana from its body. "Now then, stop rampaging and take a little rest." This terrifies the lich. Seeing its body being sucked into the totem, the lich screams, "Master!" As the lich is sealed back into the totem, it asks mournfully, "Why?" Meanwhile, Rai Lai and the commander, who were rushing over, witness this scene. Rai Lai is stunned. Could it be? Looking at his unharmed nephew giggling in front of him, with the totem in his hand, he mumbles, "Is that a holy art that turns demons into totems?" The commander is overjoyed. The first capture was a complete success. He is truly extraordinary. The Blue Knights cheer for young Master Isaac. That's a holy art that only powerful individuals like the Saintess or a cardinal can use. He can't understand the thoughts of these clueless humans. Holy art? I used magic, you morons. Riley stands watching without a word. He crosses his arms and voices his suspicion. That was definitely the holy art of turning a demon into a totem. But why didn't I feel any fluctuation of holy power when such a high-level art was used? The commander is still basking in joy. He replies, "You know, it's only in the most critical situations that a person's full potential is revealed." Recalling the lich shattering the barrier, he analyzes, that demon was targeting the young master. The demon's soul must have instinctively sensed the danger, which is why it risked everything to eliminate this potential threat. The commander joyfully heaps praise on him. "Isn't our young master amazing? I'm sure of it. I guarantee the saint is our young master." This makes Xylai look at him with a speechless expression. Watching the commander, if he isn't the saint, then there must be something special about him. He bows his head in thought. But why did it have to be a boy? He frowns seriously as he remembers the curse. Because of the Skeleton King's curse, every boy in the Joshua family will. While he's thinking, he hears the commander say, "I've made my decision." Holding Isaac in his arms, the man swears an oath. "In the name of the commander of the Blue Knights, I will protect Isaac's future as well as the future of the entire Joshua family." Hearing this, Riley is taken aback. He suddenly smiles. "Right, how foolish of me." He reaches out to hold Isaac. "Why should we be bound by the Skeleton King's curse? This child will surely bring honor to the Joshua family." Riley lifts his nephew in his arms, beaming. "Let's go home, Isaac. Your uncle will teach you so many things." He continues, "With these innate abilities, you will definitely become an extraordinary holy knight." Lifted high, Isaac also smiles happily. But in his heart, he thinks, "Yeah, I'm not doing what you want. Just get me home so you can give me back my body." But Riley's next words make him freeze for a solid 2 seconds. "Even if you can't live for long, I will protect you at any cost." Isaac is stunned. "Huh?" Riley continues to talk about his future plans. "Your name will surely echo throughout this continent." Isaac panics and lets out a few babbles. To him, it means, "Hold on, I think I just heard something really shocking." But to Riley, he thinks the baby is agreeing with him. This makes the uncle even more excited. "I knew you'd like it." Isaac wants to scream in desperation, "No!" Riley is thrilled. "When we get back, I'll immediately teach you how to curse that bastard Skeleton King." Hearing this, Isaac's face darkens. "Who the hell did you just curse, you punk?" Finally, they arrive at the Joshua Duchy's mansion. It's an incredibly vast place with a huge garden and magnificent decorations. There are gold-plated sculptures. There's a massive resort pavilion. Looking out from the carriage window, Isaac is both amazed and green with envy. "You damn Joshua clan! While my demon race was suffering at your hands, you were living in such luxury? How much must all this be worth?" Remembering his starving demon kids begging for food every day, Isaac wants to cry. "You damn capitalists! While I was struggling just to feed my people," the observer chimes in, Master, this place is on a whole different level than our shabby little corner. Just selling a few of those sculptures would be enough to buy 10 Demon King castles." Isaac trembles with anger. "I know, you don't have to remind me." While he's looking around, his 7th uncle, Riley, picks him up. He introduces, "This is the Yosu family mansion, Isaac. This is where all the exorcisms and demon slayings begin." He carries his nephew and opens the other window for him to see. Take a look. On the lawn, a scarecrow that looks quite a bit like the Skeleton King is tied to a cross. A few teenagers are training by hitting the scarecrow. In Isaac's ear is Riley's voice. "When you're older, you'll be just like those kids." The kids are beating the scarecrow with sticks and cursing, "Die, Skeleton King!" The children look quite crazed, each one with a sadistic smile, every hit accompanied by a curse. "Skeleton King! I'll butcher you! I curse you, you're lower than dirt! Tearing you to pieces isn't enough, Skeleton King!" The curses keep echoing. "Die! Die!" In the carriage, Riley smiles happily. Isaac looks on with a growing headache. What have you people been brainwashing these kids with? Is this some kind of cult? Then he reassures himself. It's fine. He makes a plan and smiles. I just need to infiltrate the holy nation, burn the emperor alive, and turn this place into the Isaac Empire. The little ghost chuckles. That's just a game for a great demon king like you. No need to get worked up over it. How petty, he silently curses. Shut your mouth and go scout the area. The ghost immediately replies, "As you command?" Right after, more than a dozen bright spots appear scattered throughout the mansion in Isaac's vision, which surprises him. His eyes light up. Amazing! Are those all manticores? There must be dozens of them. The little ghost laughs. This is the first time I've seen so many manticores concentrated in one place. I wonder how many demons they've killed. Finally, the carriage stops. We've arrived, young master. Riley carries the small Isaac out of the carriage and orders a servant. Go prepare a room. Isaac will be staying with me. The butler who came to greet Riley hesitates. About that, he says, My sincerest apologies, young Master Riley, but we have received orders to take young Master Isaac to the annex. Hearing this, he's not happy. The annex? What's the reason? The butler nervously replies, The fifth master has ordered that young Master Isaac is never to enter the main building. Isaac is annoyed. Now what is it? Riley raises an eyebrow and grits his teeth. He wants to send Isaac to that cursed, deadly place? Isaac also raises an eyebrow. This family is a mess. I knew it the moment I saw a newborn baby, not even weaned, being thrown outside. The Joshuas are on the verge of collapse. His seventh uncle grumbles. My brother has really done something pointless. He agrees. Right. I can live comfortably in the mansion. Why would I need to go to the annex? The ghost chuckles. The manticore you need is in the annex. A fatal blow, like a knife to the heart. Riley walks past the butler and straight inside. Move aside. I won't let my nephew stay in that godforsaken place. Isaac desperately babbles. No, the annex! I want to go to the annex! Uncle Seven pleads. Come to my room, Isaac. I'll read you the story of the great saintess who fought against the Skeleton King as a bedtime story. He's horrified. No way! That's basically an exorcism on me. Riley continues. After that, I'll teach you the exorcism method specifically for the Skeleton King. He has no strength left to cry. Are you trying to kill me? As they're walking in, someone stands in their way. Just for picking up a homeless kid, you have to make such a big deal. The person says, I'm sure I gave the order to send that child to the annex. He crosses his arms and says grandly to Riley, First time seeing each other in a while, and you already want to defy your older brother? The speaker is the fifth son of the Joshua family, Gowl Joshua. Isaac's eyes widen as he sees the newly appeared fifth uncle who looks like a villain. He assesses him, a punk. Gowl points at Isaac. Put him down. I'll take him to the annex. Riley objects. Are you kidding me? This child is a descendant of the Joshua family. There's no way we're sending him to the annex, the place we used to exile people in the past. Isaac glares at his fifth uncle, thinking, that rude bastard must be on the side that doesn't welcome my presence. Uncle Seven, Riley, holds him close. Move aside. I still have to tell my nephew the story of how the Skeleton King was purified. Isaac's face looks extremely uncomfortable. He's screaming internally, Hey, put me down. I'm fine with going to the annex. Gowl comes over, pokes his cheek, and scoffs at Riley. By the way, where did you find this little skeleton? Then he curses, Descendant, my ass. Isaac grits his teeth in anger. I actually like that he wants to take me to the annex. But what's wrong with this bastard? Is he a priest or a thug? Then he reconsiders. Whatever, I'll just go to the annex and absorb my manticores. Riley exposes Gowl. You think I don't know why you want to take my nephew to the annex? He says, You want people to think he's cursed? To keep him out of the competition, don't you? Hearing those key words, Isaac is stunned. Out of the competition? What the hell? Wait a minute. He remembers his plan and silently fumes. No way in hell. I still have to take over this family. Then become the saint, and then the pope. Most importantly, I have to get revenge on those damn gods. Gowl laughs like a jerk. Want people to think that? I heard a demon escaped from this child's body. Maybe he was cursed from the start. The commander refutes. That's not true! Young Master Isaac helped defeat that demon. He states his point. The fact that he was targeted by a demon from the start proves how important he is. Another knight chimes in. That's right! He possesses the holy power of a saint. Gowl doesn't care and scoffs. I'm moved to tears. How much effort did you all put into covering for this piece of trash? Don't joke with me. If you're calling him the next saint, then show me his power. The ghost beside him adds fuel to the fire. He wants to see your power. How about you summon a meteor for him to see? Isaac snaps back annoyedly. Meteor? My ass. Gowl turns around. Right, if you're calling him a saint? He looks towards a withered tree. Then over there. Looking at the lifeless tree, which even seems to radiate a deathly aura, Gowl challenges, the symbol of our family. Why don't you have him revive the thing our family head cherishes so much? He points at the tree, smiling wickedly. That holy tree died due to the dark mana of the demon race. If he has what it takes to be a saint, then at the very least, he should be able to revive that tree, right? Then he smirks sinisterly. Of course, only if he's really the saint you all claim he is. Seeing Gowl's dangerous look, Rylai protectively shields his beloved nephew and asks, Have you looked at yourself lately? Isaac is also scared, sighing to himself, Melissa, you were a great fighter, but why are your descendants such trash? He silently remarks, The eldest son is missing, the fifth son is a delinquent. As he's thinking this, his eyes are drawn to something. Isaac's jaw drops in astonishment. Huh? That's? The ghost grins. What is it, my lord? What? He grabs the ghost with his hand. What else do you think? Caught off guard while eavesdropping, the ghost yelps, Huh? Isaac throws it and orders, Go over there and get it all for me. The ghost, still not understanding what's happening, is flung away. It panics. Wait. Back at the original spot, Rylai is still arguing with Gowl. A tree that's been dead for 70 years, and you want a child who can't even speak to... Suddenly, a rustling sound is heard. Rylai is surprised. Gowl turns around and loses his composure. Rylai can't believe his eyes. What the hell? The holy tree! The tree before them is no longer a withered, deathly plant. It has been revived, green, and lush. Seeing the vibrant tree, he's overjoyed. It's been revived? Gowl is stunned. Even with purification and recovery magic, it was still slowly dying. He can't believe his eyes. What in the world is happening? Satisfied with his opponent's astonishment, Isaac smiles and thinks, it's nothing special. He strokes his chin and praises himself. There was a bit of dark mana near the roots, so I just sucked it all up. The ghost has returned to his side. It burps and says tiredly, I've absorbed all the mana there. I'm so full. The commander stammers, Sir Rylai, how did that tree? What did you do? Rylai replies, I didn't do anything. The commander's eyes shift. Then could it be? Sitting in his uncle's lap, Isaac sighs, babbling words that only he and the ghost understand. It was all mana. Such a waste. The ghost asks, What now, sir? Do you want me to puke it all up? The commander shouts with joy, Then it must have been Sir Isaac. Immediately, the knights start cheering and praising him, startling the baby. Amidst the excited cheers, only Gowl refuses to believe it. Seeing his plan go awry, he seethes, This is insane. No one in this family has ever been able to save that tree. How could this brat do it? He makes an excuse. Someone must have helped him. Meanwhile, the knights are tossing him in the air like a hero, competing to praise him. As expected of young Master Isaac. Over here, Gowl is scheming. Right, it must have been Rylai. First exorcism, now purification. But then a thought strikes him. He clenches his fists, his whole body trembling as he asks, You did it, didn't you? Rylai doesn't understand. What do you mean? Gowl flies into a rage, grabs Rylai by the collar, and roars. You must have gotten help from the Saintess. And then you made it look like this trashy kid did it, didn't you? Rylai grabs his hand, trying to pull it off. What on earth are you talking about? Gowl seems to have lost control. He keeps shouting, Cut it out with your petty tricks! How could I possibly have met the missing Saintess? The knights have stopped cheering and are now worriedly looking at the two. Isaac is bored with this chaotic scene. He thinks to himself, Melissa, you should focus on managing your family, instead of hunting demons. Your family is a damn mess. Looking at the contorted face of his fifth uncle, he internally judges. Still, this guy called brother is nothing like Melissa. In fact, it'd be more believable if you told me Rai was Melissa in disguise. The ghost eavesdrops. What about the other brother? A thought pops into Isaac's head. He looks more like that bastard Pope. Gowl shouts, "Stop playing dumb! You think I don't know you brought this kid back to be the next saint candidate? I can't believe you'd stoop to such dirty tricks when the family already has a saint candidate." Hearing this, Isaac is curious. There's another candidate in the family? And this rude bastard wants that candidate to win? The ghost chuckles. Looks like you'll have to compete with that other person. But you don't seem to care at all, do you? He grins. Don't you think that person would also be evil if that bastard is supporting him? Defeating him will be fun. The ghost reconsiders. That does make sense. Uncle Seven, Rai, can't listen anymore. He questions, so are we just supposed to ignore the boy? He's our nephew and the son of our eldest brother. He has the right to lead this family. Gowl scoffs. Nonsense. Eldest brother? He ran away while the family was in danger. Then he flies into a rage again. You still want to talk about our eldest brother? You only just told us about this kid's existence. From afar, Isaac is indifferent to the reason he's being ostracized. So that's why I'm being treated so badly. The ghost advises, you can't talk about your life so carelessly. Gowl smiles slyly. Well, this kid is still the son of a saintess, right? He could just be a half-breed of the saintess that we brought back from outside. But whatever, she's still a saintess. The next words that come out of Gowl's mouth are extremely punchable, but we can't be sure that he's our brother's son, can we? I guess his face looks okay, since he resembles that woman. He continues to provoke Railai's limits. If it's for the good of the family, I think we could sell him off to maintain the bloodline. Hearing this, Railai doesn't hesitate to punch him straight in the face. He trembles and shouts, "Are you crazy? Did you just hit me?" Railai doesn't back down. You think you can get away with saying that nonsense? The knights turn pale, while Isaac happily thinks, that's right, brothers, should exchange some martial arts once in a while. And thanks to that, I've learned some other useful information. Seeing Railai single-handedly beating Gowl to a pulp, the knights rush over to intervene and pull Railai back. Sir, you can't do that! Someone shouts, stop them! Isaac thinks indifferently. The more chaotic the family, the better. It'll be easier for me to take it over. He laughs wickedly in the incomprehensible language of a child. This damn family is already collapsing on its own. The ghost chuckles nervously. Come to think of it, if this family collapses, wouldn't you die too? Did your brain die with you? Isaac snaps at it. Shut up! After the chaotic fight, everyone finally enters the luxurious mansion. Isaac is placed on the table, pouting and looking quite unhappy. He thinks irritably, this is so annoying. At the long conference table, the family members are assembled. Whispers can be heard. Another brat? What are we supposed to do with this one now? Seeing this, Isaac sighs to himself. Not a single person in this damn family is sane. They sure know how to treat an heir. The chatter continues. We already took in and raised that country bumpkin to be a saintess, so at the very least, she shouldn't have given birth to this useless son. She's not worthy of being a saintess. Isaac feels like he's about to go crazy. Hey, are you all insane? That's going too far. A woman speaks up. All of you, silence. She says, Railai, we had already decided to raise this child in the annex to avoid attracting attention. This person is the second wife of the family head, Eli Joshua, and the acting matriarch, Hannah Joshua. She questions, why did you allow this child to come here? Isaac silently observes. She's openly showing her hostility? She must be the one behind the people trying to push me into the annex. Gowl, his bruised nose bandaged, grits his teeth. The acting matriarch is asking you a question. Answer her, Railai. Isaac thinks, she must be this delinquent uncle's mother. Uncle Seven, Railai, doesn't answer the question but asks one of his own. Is father not here? Lady Hannah replies, he's out of town. This whole saint candidate business is a real mess. Railai sighs, what a shame. Then he drops a bombshell. He should have been here to hear that the eldest grandson of this family, Isaac, has revived the holy tree. This news makes both Hannah and Gowl jump to their feet. Gowl slams the table and refutes, that was just a coincidence! How could this brat have done that? The prayers of the Joshua family must have just been answered. An elder speaks up. I think so too. Even our family head couldn't find a solution. So how could a child like him do it? Hannah crosses her arms, sits down, and agrees. I agree. She smiles sinisterly. There was no proof from the start. The elders murmur, the matriarch is right. It's truly a blessing that the holy tree has revived. Isaac smirks watching them. Look at those clowns. He holds out his hands. You want proof? A blue light appears, stunning Gowl and Hannah. The elders and Riley are completely astonished. Before them, a blue crystal forms as Isaac gestures with his hands. The baby smirks. Then watch closely. An elder stammers, Thaw, that energy? Looking at the crystal floating in front of Isaac. The elder exclaims, is the power of the holy tree. Isaac babbles, surprise, you amateurs. In the luxurious room, a group of elders sits around the discussion table. One of them speaks up, it seems Isaac managed to remove the mana that was corroding the holy tree. Another elder is startled. What? It's true there was mana on the holy tree, but a newborn baby removed it? A female elder beside him replies, isn't that the most logical explanation right now? The boy materialized that mana right in front of us. Another man pushes up his glasses, his expression thoughtful. Indeed, but even if this exorcism method is effective, it certainly isn't simple. A single small mistake could have completely killed the holy tree. That's why the family head chose cyclical purification instead of a direct exorcism. Gowl is aghast, unable to believe it. What are they talking about? There's no way a newborn could do something like that. Riley wholeheartedly agrees with the elders. Isaac must have instinctively exorcised the dark mana. Isaac, sitting nearby, crosses his arms with a smug look. Exactly. Then everyone hears Riley continue, a child still on his mother's milk has accomplished something no one in the Holy See could do in 70 years. Hearing this, Gowl glares daggers at Riley. What is he talking about? Gowl slams his fist on the table in protest. Elders, do you really believe this nonsense? He shouts angrily. A newborn performing an exorcism? He can't even talk yet. If outsiders heard this, they'd laugh in our faces. Look at him. It's not even believable that he's from the Joshua lineage. What if he's actually from some no-name family? Isaac, bored, picks his ear, indifferently listening to the discussion. Then, Riley speaks seriously. Venerable elders, please listen to me. This child will undoubtedly become a saint. He could even become the next pope. Isaac thinks arrogantly, couldn't have said it better myself. Suddenly, a hand grabs him and lifts him up. Then Isaac hears the person say, and above all, this child will destroy the Skeleton King. Isaac is horrified. What the hell? It was perfect until that last part. As soon as the Demon King is mentioned, the elders immediately start whispering. The Skeleton King? That despicable creature. Hearing this, a woman smiles sinisterly and whispers, you're digging your own grave, Riley. Then she looks straight at Riley and Isaac. If you're so confident, why don't we test him? In a shadowy corner, she rests her chin on her hands, her face dark with a cruel smile. I request the use of the Archive of Relics. In the northwest region of the Holy Nation, Healon's Black Forest, a place of withered trees and sharp thorns, the air thick with the smell of death. A monster's throat is slit, fresh blood splattering across the ground. The man stands before the monster's corpse, his black robe fluttering in the wind, letting the eerie mist envelop him. He sheathes his sword and mutters, this place is no good either. A personal guard approaches from behind, gets on one knee, and bows respectfully. Greetings, family head. The man doesn't turn around, simply asking flatly, what is it? The guard quickly replies, your representative in the family has requested the use of the Archive of Relics. The man walks forward, his voice impatient. I made it clear that the Holy See is not allowed to use it. The guard quickly reports, it wasn't a request from the Holy See, sir. Your grandson successfully revived the Holy Tree, so the acting matriarch wants to see if the child has the qualities of a saint. The man whips his head around. He steps towards the guard. What do you mean? The man frowns, clenching his fist, and looks down at the guard. Why is there a saint in my family? This man is the head of the Joshua family, Eli Joshua. He looks at the guard and instructs, I will not allow it. Only a saintess can survive entering that place. Tell them to avoid unnecessary conflicts. There are no exceptions. Tell them to proceed. Suddenly, a person with long white hair, dressed in noble attire, approaches from the side and says, with interest, the one you just mentioned was Isaac, right? That woman is the matriarch of the Joshua family, The former saintess, Melissa Joshua. She smiles and murmurs, "Reviving the holy tree? Huh? Isn't that impressive? Since the archive has been opened, why don't we send all the saint and saintess candidates in?" Hearing this, the guard is instantly alarmed. "What, ma'am?" Seeing the interest in matriarch Melissa's eyes and the silence of family head Eli, the guard can only bite the bullet and continue. But if we do that, what if a child from another family obtains a precious item from the archive? Melissa smiles and replies, "I hope so. Even the most powerful saintesses of previous generations couldn't retrieve anything from that place. Who knows? If someone manages to get that item, they might be able to find the Skeleton King and destroy him." Her eyes gleam thoughtfully. "Then we should reward that person, shouldn't we?" Then Melissa turns to give an order to the guard. "Relay this to them. Whoever brings out the best treasure from the archive will be given a reward that even the Pope cannot buy. That person will receive the Joshua family heirloom." The guard breaks into a sweat upon hearing this. Melissa cheerfully adds the next line, "and will be personally taught the family's secret techniques by me." Then she excitedly clenches her fists and says, "Whichever child succeeds, I'll give them whatever they want." Legend has it that the Archive of Relics is a place that not only contains holy artifacts, but also holds a secret technique dating back thousands of years. For generations, the saintesses have taken on the duty of guarding the archive, which is why it's often said that the Joshua family are the masters of this archive. Since only children under 10 are allowed to enter, the archive is often used as a coming-of-age ceremony for saintess candidates. At 1 year old, these children will enter and choose an item. People would predict what kind of power the saintess would receive based on the item the child brought back. However, the archive is an extremely dangerous place. Even saintess candidates could hardly avoid life-threatening risks upon entering. After many unfortunate incidents, the archive was sealed. The dark ghost smiles sinisterly. Let's see. Then it observes Isaac closely and says, "If my master can survive and bring back the treasure," Isaac raises an eyebrow irritably, babbling as if to say, "Why are you recounting that story?" The ghost floats above Isaac's head, trying to persuade him. "But everyone is looking forward to it, right, Master?" Isaac's eyes sparkle in response. "Of course." He says with great anticipation, "They say the body of the Skeleton King is in there." Suddenly, a hand reaches down and lifts him out of the crib. "Are you excited, young master?" The commander of the Blue Knights smiles at Isaac. The matriarch has opened the archive for all the candidates. Isaac is inwardly astonished. "All of them?" As if to answer Isaac's question, he joyfully tosses him into the air, saying, "All the descendants of the 5 noble families will be here. Although that cursed Pope's family will also come, I'm sure that no matter what happens, you will win. Young master." Seeing this, the ghost can only sigh. Looks like they're making a big deal out of this. Isaac is tossed high, but his mind is still calculating. This is good. The more people there are, the more distracted they'll be. It'll be easier for me to get my body back. Just as Isaac falls, he's caught by someone else. Then he hears a familiar, warm voice. "You have to be careful, Isaac." Riley brings Isaac close and warns him. The demons captured from the battlefield will be guarding inside. Isaac mentally notes, there will be danger from the demons guarding the place? Then he thinks, if they were captured like that, they must be level 6 at most. I just need to use Overwhelm and... Before Isaac can finish his calculation, Riley throws a bucket of cold water on him. The level 8 demons are not easy to deal with. As he speaks, he places Isaac back in the crib. Hearing Riley, Isaac is instantly startled. What the hell? Why are there level 8 demons in there? The commander adds, even so, that level 9 dragon is probably the worst. Riley laughs. If we're just talking about levels, then yes. After hearing them talk, the ghost can only cry out in despair. This whole Joshua family must be insane. A dragon in a place where a bunch of kids are going? Isaac is also completely speechless. The ghost tries to comfort him. But at least you know quite a lot about dragons, Master. Not hearing a reply from his master, the ghost turns to look and finds Isaac trembling, biting his finger, his face covered in sweat. The ghost is shocked. Huh? What's wrong now? Meanwhile, Isaac is terrified. Crap. The danger level of a dragon is on a completely different plane. After a long pause, the ghost hears Isaac speak. Well, I might have tricked them a few times. The ghost asks how many, specifically, thinking of the fury of the dragons he had tricked. That bastard tricked the young dragons too. What the hell did he sell to those kids? They're not even 300 years old. Even the elder dragons were tricked, let alone the young ones. That damn skeleton. Isaac mumbles. About 70 of them, maybe. Isaac suddenly remembers something unpleasant. And on top of that, they have excellent memories. They'll recognize my soul. The ghost grins slyly at its master. Perhaps it's time for me to find a new master. Isaac grits his teeth in anger and glares back. I can hear you, you know. Isaac slams his small, chubby hands on the crib, his will blazing. Looks like I'm out of options. So there are level 8 demons and a level 9 dragon in the archive of relics. But as I am now, I can barely handle level 6 demons. To fight them, I'll have to steal all the mana cores from the Joshua family. Seeing the ghost's helpless expression, Isaac says excitedly, "To the annex!" A new day begins, the first rays of sunlight warming the magnificent palace. In a certain room, the young Isaac sits behind a door, engrossed in a book. The cloud-like ghost beside him asks nervously, "Master, are you okay?" Not getting a reply, it asks again, "Master, are you okay?" Isaac, staring intently at the book, his face pale, mumbles, "Yeah." He grumbles to himself, "If I could master holy power, learning these 3 measly spells would be a piece of cake. Why is it getting more frustrating the more I study? I'm not even weaned yet. I should just mind control him and make him teach me." The ghost shouts with glee, "Master, you want to use black magic among priests? Are you planning to bury this house? Then you'll summon some cool demons, right?" Isaac, crawling on the floor, frowns at it. "What has happened to your personality in the last 150 years? The ghost gives a forced laugh. Isaac, tiredly looking at the book, rubs his eyes. "I can't understand all these theories on my own." Baby Isaac lets out a tired yawn. Suddenly, a hand scoops him up. "You look exhausted." Rai and the commander of the Blue Knights walk in. He lifts the baby into his arms with care. "I guess you've had a very busy day." Isaac silently complains. "That's right. Kids my age need to sleep 16 hours a day." While Rai is putting Isaac back into the crib, the commander picks up the book with a very confused expression. After placing Isaac down, Rai holds his hand out over the baby and murmurs, "Regenerate." A stream of golden light envelops Isaac. "Ooh, a spell. Awesome, keep going. Cast another one, Uncle." Seeing that Rai isn't continuing and the ghost continues, "You need to get to the annex as soon as possible. You can't just hide in here, right?" Isaac suddenly remembers. "Right, the annex. I need to get these guys out of here as fast as possible." Noticing the silence behind them, Rai and the commander quickly turn back to check. Seeing Isaac fast asleep in the crib, the ghost scoffs internally. What terrible acting. Who would believe that? The commander, holding the spellbook, smiles brightly. Sir Isaac falls asleep so quickly. Rai also praises him. A wonderful child, quick at everything he does. Hearing this, the ghost wants to scream at them. "Are you all insane?" Seeing that Isaac is sound asleep, Rai says, "It's getting late. Shall we head out?" The commander agrees. "Yes, I have to go train anyway." The ghost is utterly confused. This is so weird. The whole group, seeing that they are about to leave, watches as Isaac, lying in his crib, cracks a triumphant smile. Suddenly, he hears them say one more thing. However, the totem seems very dangerous. "I think we should take it outside." Isaac is instantly horrified. "Whoa." Before leaving, Rai turns back to instruct the commander, "It's a precious item, the first totem that belongs to Isaac, so make sure it's safe." The commander quickly replies, "Yes, sir." Hearing this, Isaac silently protests, "I still need to restore it. Who gave you permission to take it?" Before they leave, Isaac hears them say, "I'll display it where it's easiest to see." He can only cry internally, "My totem! I haven't even had a chance to draw the mana from it yet." The moment the door closes, Isaac bolts upright. "Fine then, I'll just drain all the mana cores in the annex." He quickly uses his short body to climb out of the crib. "Let's go." The ghost weakly says to Isaac, "Are you really planning to crawl all the way to the annex?" Isaac replies, "I have a way. Open the door for me." The ghost immediately flies towards the door. "Yes, of course, as you command." As it flies to the door, it mutters, "There's no way I'm carrying you there." But as soon as it touches the door, the ghost freezes. "Huh?" Isaac, who had just fallen out of the crib, lands flat on his back. Before he can even feel the pain, he hears the ghost say, "Your Uncle Thingy locked the door. The lock system is on the outside. He even cast a spell on it." Isaac is so angry he could spit blood. "That damn uncle," he orders. "Break the door." Thinking of the guards outside, the ghost advises, "They'll think you're being attacked and rush in here." Isaac curses. "Damn it." Isaac angrily bangs his hand on the door. He's frustrated. "I'm losing my mind. I can't stand the whispers from here to there. If I use magic, things will only get worse." Suddenly, the door creaks open. Isaac, standing in front of the door thinking, "How the hell do I escape?" gets hit in the face by the opening door. A boy, about 5 or 6 years old, pushes the door open and walks in. He's holding a fake arm wrapped in bandages, staring intently at Isaac, who has fallen to the ground. He exclaims in surprise, "This brat can't even walk yet." The boy who just entered is Gal Joshua's son, a saint candidate of the Joshua family, Suri Joshua, age 5. Isaac, startled, touches his nose and looks at the boy in front of him. Suri thinks angrily, "This guy must be my enemy." Isaac looks at the boy and thinks, "A totem that even a genius like me can't create? There's no way this little brat could have made it." He clutches the toy in his hand tighter. He opens his hand, and a golden ring of light. Suri raises his hand, his eyes filled with malice. "I am the one worthy of being canonized." Isaac pretends to be innocent and crawls to the boy's feet, his eyes glancing at the toy not far away as the boy casts a spell on it, muttering, "You dare mess with what's mine." As he's still talking, "This is how I get rid of that arrogant Joshua," he suddenly screams as the toy he was enchanting hits him right on the head. Isaac laughs with delight. "Found a horse to ride." Suri's face darkens with anger. "Do you know who I am?" Since a baby can't talk, Isaac can only reply in his mind. "You look just like that punk uncle of yours, so you must be his son." With that, Isaac quickly grabs the toy, a smug look on his face. "I saw you channeling mana to attack me, you little bastard." Isaac repeatedly hits Suri with the toy. "You deserve this!" The ghost floating beside him cheers. "Nice hit, master!" As he hits him, Isaac thinks, "You little punk, get ready to be my horse." Suri can't fight back and can only silently endure the blows. Finally, he has to use holy power to block. "You think you're so much better than me?" Isaac smiles and strokes his chin, feigning surprise. Suri says smugly, "What's so surprising? At my age, no one else can use a level 3 defensive holy art." As he concentrates his holy power, he mocks, "You're surprised a little too early." Isaac silently watches him perform the holy art. Level 3, offensive holy art. Holy light. Rings of white light appear in midair. "Take this." Isaac's jaw drops in awe at the holy power before him. "Wow, that's impressive." Then he smirks slightly. "Thanks for the meal." What happens next terrifies Suri. He sees a massive, expanding purple ring of light surrounding Isaac. Suri is horrified, his eyes wide as he looks at the baby. How can a defensive spell be amplified to that extent? Watching Isaac playfully toy with the spell, Suri thinks, "How do you know how to use that when he hasn't even taught it to me?" Isaac babbles, as if to say, "Thank you for the lesson, my friend." Suri turns his head in shock. "Impossible!" Suri stares, stunned, as Isaac playfully points at him. Seeing the offensive spell heading back his way, Suri stammers and shouts, "Wait!" Isaac sits and watches with a smug look. The ghost says, "This whole Joshua family must be insane, putting a dragon in a place full of newborns." It continues, "But at least, master, you have extensive knowledge about dragons." Suddenly, Isaac anxiously bites his hand. The ghost panics. "What's wrong now?" At this moment, Isaac thinks, crap. On second thought, dragons are really dangerous. I've been tricking them for a long time. The ghost asks, "How many did you trick?" "That bastard tricked all the young dragons. What on earth did you sell to those kids? They're not even 300 years old." Many adult dragons were also tricked. "That damn skeleton! What about 70 of them?" Isaac is worried. This is bad. They have memories like elephants. They'll recognize my soul. The ghost replies, "Isn't this a good opportunity for me to switch places with you, master?" Isaac snaps, "I can hear you." Then Isaac slams his hand down. There's no other way. After that, Suri stands frozen, watching Isaac sitting on the shoulder of a tall, ghostly figure with blood-red eyes, looking down at him. Isaac babbles, "What are you doing?" He smiles excitedly. "You little punk, let's go to the annex, quick." Despite Isaac grabbing his hair, Suri is terrified and constantly watches the ghost's every move. Even so, his hands still hold Isaac's legs tightly to prevent him from falling. He thinks in fear, "Okay, Focus on surviving and getting out of here first. Isaac enjoys his perch on Suri's shoulders, pulling his hair until it's a mess. Suri's body won't stop trembling. He carries Isaac helplessly, terrified to the core. He cries out in a shaky voice, "Someone save me." Under the dark night, illuminated only by the bright moon above, Isaac's babbling echoes through the deserted garden. With one hand clutching Suri's hair and the other holding a toy, Isaac points and gives orders. Left, left. Suri, carrying Isaac on his back, wearily follows his instructions. Suri stops, exhausted and panting. Isaac scowls impatiently. "Do you want to die? Get it together." Suri, worn out, asks, "Where are you going in the middle of the night?" Suddenly, his foot recoils slightly. He looks up in fear at the place before him and exclaims, "This is..." His entire body is covered in sweat. He trembles and stammers out the words, "The second annex of the Joshua family, the haunted house." While Isaac is deep in thought and the observer is laughing maniacally, he thinks in panic, "Why did this lunatic bring me here? Many people have died here, so the family head forbids entry." Suddenly, both Isaac and the observer become excited. The observer chuckles and says, "Looks like there are dozens of them here." It looks at the clusters of light scattered throughout the house and says, "It would take you dozens of years of hard training to gather this much mana." Isaac waves the toy in his hand, signaling Suri to go inside. While thinking, "Let's go, kid." Suri understands and panics. "You want to go inside?" "No, we can't go in there." "The adults told us not to." Before he can finish, the ghost suddenly appears right in his face and threatens, "Shut up and walk, puppy." Inside the building, moonlight streams through the glass windows. Suri, carrying Isaac on his shoulders, cautiously takes each step. Isaac rests his hand on the boy's head, slowly observing the surroundings, and remarks, "It's even worse inside." Suddenly, his eyes flash. He looks at a nearby door and thinks, "Huh? Wait, that's..." The observer appears again. "The entire building is sealed, Master. Every door here has something like a protective barrier." Hearing this, he lies dejectedly on Suri's head. What a pain. Suri, still terrified, urges, "Hey, let's go back. Everything in here is locked." Isaac suddenly pulls his hair, yanking his head to the left, and babbles. Suri yelps in pain. "Ow! What's wrong?" He tries to pull Isaac's hand away, shouting, "Let go." He then looks in the direction Isaac is pointing and is surprised. Huh? The moonlight from the window reveals dusty portraits hanging solemnly on the old wall. He looks up at them and involuntarily says, "The previous family heads." Looking at the portraits, Suri jeers, "Are you aiming for the position of family head too?" He smiles confidently, but it's useless. The next family head will be me. Ignoring his words, Isaac brandishes the toy in his hand, a dangerous look on his face. Then he swings his arm forcefully, aiming for a portrait on the wall. Seeing the glass on the frame shatter, Suri stares with his mouth wide open in horror. Isaac doesn't stop. He continuously swings the toy, shattering all the remaining frames, while Suri pulls his hair in distress, trying to stop him. "Our ancestors! Hey, are you insane? What are you doing to the family heads?" When he's done, he holds the toy and smiles coolly. Right, why would anyone put a barrier on a portrait? The observer appears again and happily announces, "The barrier is broken, Master." Isaac grins mischievously. Excellent. With that, Isaac jumps off Suri's back and says, "Let's go." Suri panics and shouts, "Hey, where are you going?" After landing safely, Isaac rolls across the floor to another spot with the observer flying above him, leaving Suri standing there, shouting in frustration, "Hey, are you crazy? After causing all this chaos, where are you going?" He rolls to the front of a room and pushes the door wide open. He sees the sparkling mana in the room and exclaims excitedly, "Awesome!" Suri runs at full speed towards Isaac, but the baby gives a command, Gaba whisper, "Lock the door." The door slowly closes. Suri, outside, sees this and runs faster, trying to stop it. "Hey, stop! Stop! What are you doing?" As the door is about to close, Isaac turns his head, smirks contemptuously, and thinks, "A kid like you doesn't need to know." Suri shouts from outside, "Hey, kid!" The door closes. Isaac sits up straight, places his hands on his knees, and lets out a sigh. He channels his mana and thinks, "Let's begin." Suri, outside, uses all his strength to bang on the door, threatening, "Come out right now! Hurry up! I'm going to tell the adults everything!" He keeps banging and shouting, "I'll tell them everything and get you kicked out of here." not noticing a figure standing in the distance behind him. Joshua Riley arrives with a group of people and calls out, "Suri." The boy hears the familiar voice and freezes. Suri turns around dumbfounded. Riley asks again, "What are you doing here?" The boy is overjoyed to see him. "Uncle, you came at the perfect time, Isaac." That monster. Before he can finish, the elder matriarch snaps at him. "What do you think you're doing, Suri?" No matter the reason, you know you're not allowed in the annex. What were you thinking, bringing Isaac here? Suri freezes, forcing a confused smile. Huh? Then she continues, "Do you know how many people saw you carrying Isaac here on your back? Furthermore, there were traces of an offensive holy art in Isaac's bedroom. You are responsible for all of this. Understand?" Faced with these accusations, Suri nervously stammers a rebuttal. "No, it's true. I brought him here and some of my offensive holy art." Riley places a hand on his shoulder and says quietly, "Suri, you've gone too far this time. No matter what, you harassed a child who hasn't even been weaned." His face turns serious as he asks, "Where did you lock Isaac?" Suri panics and quickly says, "I didn't lock him anywhere." His words stun everyone present. They are dumbfounded. Isaac went in by himself. Then Riley stands up and approaches the room. "Isaac, are you in there?" He touches the door and exclaims, "It's locked? Oh my God!" Then the door suddenly opens, revealing his worried face. Isaac, inside the dark room, is sobbing. He calls out in pain, "Isaac!" The elder matriarch, seeing this, asks worriedly, "Are you all right, Isaac?" Gosh, the boy looks so scared. Suri, on the other hand, is dumbfounded and looks suspicious. Riley holds the crying Isaac and says, "Thank goodness he's safe. He seems scared, but nothing seems to have happened." Riley gives Suri a sharp look. Then he turns and leaves, leaving a parting shot. "Suri, you should be ashamed of yourself." Suri's tears stream down his face as he says helplessly, "No, it's not like that. Really, Isaac suddenly speaks in a voice only Suri can hear, "Thanks." He smiles with cruel satisfaction. "Thanks to you, I had a delicious meal." Seeing this, Suri is furious and screams, "That bastard!" The elder, finding this strange, asks, "Suri?" The surrounding attendants look at Isaac and say, "Why does the boy look like he's on fire? Isn't it because it's too cold in here?" One of them sighs. Such a small child already, Isaac touches the manna in his pocket and sneers internally. "The amount I gathered is more than I expected. In one go, I've absorbed the equivalent of 100 years of hard training." He clutches it tightly and thinks, "Yes, with this much manna." He then smiles slyly in secret. Riley, seeing his strange expression, suddenly thinks, it seems Isaac was really scared. In a magnificent castle, someone says to Isaac, "Isaac, I want to introduce someone to you." Isaac glances up, bored. Joshua Riley introduces Isaac's new assistant. "This is Asili. From now on, she will be your assistant." Asili respectfully places a hand on her chest and introduces herself. "My name is Asili, a holy knight of the Joshua family." She kneels on one knee, bowing her head in respect and loyalty. "I will serve you until death." Hearing this, Isaac glances away indifferently, but thinks, "They sent someone to monitor me because of last time?" He puts on a disgusted face, props up his head with one hand, and points at Asili with the other. "Hey, you." Isaac continues to shout intimidatingly, "Forget it. Get out of my sight." Asili looks up at Isaac, surprised. She moves closer to him. "Now," Asili leans down, blushing, her hands trembling as she reaches out, "can I pinch your cheek just once?" Isaac looks at the blushing person in front of him, confused. Why are there so many crazy people in this house? Joshua Riley smiles, takes something out, and says to Isaac, "Ah, Isaac." He takes out a small box containing a ring and offers it to him. "This is a gift from your uncle." Isaac looks at the unremarkable ring and his face darkens. "Did you pick that up from the trash?" "I thought I heard wrong," but the ghost on the other side also looks at the ring with disdain. It seems the Joshua family is really in a crisis. How can he call this a worthy gift for the master's first birthday? Asili sees the ring and immediately rushes over. Isaac is startled and looks at the ring in disbelief. "Oh my God, isn't this the Saintess's heirloom?" Joshua Riley stands beside him, ruffles his hair, and smiles. "The Saintess's heirloom. Your uncle got it from the council just for you." Isaac's eyes widen in surprise. "Huh? It's the real deal." An image of the Saintess appears. a glowing ring on her hand. This is the ring the Saintess used in her battle against me. The ancient ring, containing a bit of holy magic. The ring glows. He holds the sparkling ring and assesses it. The holy power contained within is insane. Isaac looks at the ring with a sinister smile. It looks like it'll break after just 1 or 2 uses, but I have a way to fix it. He suddenly looks up at someone. Besides, Gaul Joshua stands leaning against a tree, his eyes filled with envy. Isaac looks in his direction, at him staring this way, and thinks, that look of jealous rage that guy's face confirms this is the real deal. Staring at his baby nephew like he wants to kill me. Gaul Joshua walks towards the group, while Isaac looks at him, confused. To my precious nephew, Isaac. He approaches with a fake, cheerful face. Oh, you are so adorable. Gaul fakes his concern while Isaac and the ghost look at him, bewildered by his act. I hope you're comfortable here. Isaac feels annoyed. What the hell? This is disgusting. He looks at the man's beaming face and thinks, maybe he's gone crazy. Damn it, things are getting complicated. Isaac looks at the ring and thinks, I sabotaged the blessing device in the relic archive so he couldn't receive a blessing, but I didn't expect them to give me the Saintess's heirloom as a replacement. Back in the past, an elder gives the ring to Joshua Rai and says, since Isaac didn't receive a blessing, we have to give him this. Gaul Joshua sees the ring and panics. The Saintess's heirloom! Gaul Joshua pleads with the elder, please give that to my son. The elder asks, give it to Suri? She sighs and waves him away. Hasn't he already received the blessing of the Holy See? Don't be greedy. Go back. Gaul Joshua grits his teeth in frustration, thinking about his previous plan. I was going to pretend to donate it to the Holy See while taking it for myself. He can't possibly understand the true value of the heirloom. He says, if you're choosing a gift, you should have picked something better. That thing is useless. Joshua Rai immediately retorts, useless? Brother, how can you speak of the Saintess's relic like that? Gaul Joshua smiles sinisterly, holding a box in his hand. Isaac is my precious nephew too. How could I give him something so useless? He takes out a ring far more dazzling than the Saintess's and tempts him. This ring has received many blessings directly from the Holy See. He rambles on about the ring's power while Joshua Rai stands aside, looking at him confusedly. In the relic archive, this will surely be more useful. This is an incredibly precious item that Rai could never obtain. He sits down near Isaac, offering the sparkling ring and continuing his persuasion. Oh, isn't that right? He reaches out to take the Saintess's ring, but is immediately punched in the face by Isaac. Now give me that old, dirty ring. Hell no. Get lost. He grabs the ring box and curses, isn't this piece of trash reeking of the Pope? Next, Isaac throws the ring away. Get lost with it. The ring is unceremoniously tossed into a pond. Gaul Joshua sees the ring being thrown and yells, what are you doing? Go find that ring now. Joshua Rai looks at Isaac and thinks to himself, that ring was worth 1,000 times more than the one I gave you. He looks at Joshua Rai, the ring on his hand, and smiles internally. And yet you still chose my gift? Joshua Rai reaches out to him. Isaac, my beloved nephew. He joyfully throws his hands in the air and laughs. From now on, I will give you only the best things. Esili, standing next to him, mimics the gesture and cheers. Hooray for young Master Isaac. Meanwhile, his minions are struggling to search for the ring in the water. It's so deep. Yes, young master. Gaul Joshua stands watching, his face dark, ordering his subordinates. Find it at all costs. Risk your lives to find it. He crosses his arms happily. I cast a weight spell on it. They'll never find it. The ghost beside him adds its flattery, as expected of the master. Your determination to never touch a foul item is admirable. Isaac orders the ghost, pick it up tomorrow morning. The ghost is surprised. Me? He retorts defiantly. Who else? Me? Isaac remembers the sight of Gaul Joshua clutching his head and yelling, so he's sure the item is very valuable. He tells the ghost, that thing is very valuable. I'm going to sell it. Gaul Joshua slams his hand on the table. That little bastard. He slumps over the table, clenching his fist in anger. He has no idea what that thing is worth. Then he sits back in his chair, dejected. Whatever. It's not like he knows how to use the ancient ring anyway. Gaul continues to ramble, comforting himself. Only someone who can't use holy arts can use it. It needs to absorb the holy power of at least 20 people to work, which is impossible. He laughs sinisterly. I doubt even 10 people will show up for his birthday. The same luxurious mansion the next day. The scene is bustling with adults and children. Asili, seeing the scene, exclaims happily, "Amazing! There are over 148 Saintess candidates, including nobles and servants. There are about 4,000 people here today." Holding Isaac, she cheerfully tells Joshua Rai, all the ducal families have come, and dozens of marquis families too. Even other countries have sent their Saintess candidates. Isn't it wonderful? The emperor is here too. Isaac's face darkens. Why are there so many Saintess candidates? Did the lazy gods just sprinkle them everywhere? The ghost beside him adds, that's exactly what they would do. Joshua Railai's face is serious as he thinks, I didn't expect this. I thought no one would come. I suspect this is a trap. Someone pushes the door open and says, of course they wouldn't think it's a trap, my friend. Simon cheerfully walks towards them. Long time no see. Railai, the head of one of the 3 merchant guilds in the empire and Railai's best friend, Baron Simon Ad. He looks at the person in front of him in surprise. Simon, you came too? Simon laughs loudly. The rumor has spread throughout the empire. Simon replies cheerfully, of course I had to come. Both Railai and Asili frown when they hear Simon say, everyone knows this isn't a trap, so they decided to participate. After all the weak boys of the Joshua family are here. He continues to ramble on, not to mention what the head of the Joshua family has at stake. How could I not come? Even the Pope's family will be here. Isaac listens to Simon and thinks, what did she bet? Railai doesn't believe what Simon just said. Don't be ridiculous, there's no way the Pope's family would attend. But he just shrugs. Just a guess. There's no way those unfriendly royals would show up in Joshua territory. They hate this place because there are too many commoners, except for the Barrett family. Suddenly, a black shadow appears before the door of the room where everyone is talking. Simon, lower your voice. Why should I? My son, Aromoron, is also a Saintess candidate. This event is hosted by the Joshua family anyway. The Pope's family has no reason to get involved. The mysterious shadow grabs the doorknob. You must be careful with your words. As Simon is speaking, the door opens and someone walks in. Everyone looks towards the door in alarm. Don't pay attention to that bunch. They always look like they've just stepped in something. My grandparents used to say there's nothing more dangerous than a vulgar friend. When Hiraiberit appears, indeed, the wisdom of the ancients is never wrong. Both Railai and Simon are terrified. Cardinal Berit. Barrett appears with a wicked face. He slowly walks towards everyone and says, to think the weakling of the Joshua family would host an event like this. I hope your child can bring something back from the relic archive to save face for this family. He laughs sinisterly. I'm curious to see what kind of child from the Joshua family dares to declare himself a saint candidate. Asili, hearing him, defensively holds Isaac tighter. We haven't even had a chance to meet yet. Then he smirks. But anyway, this is an opportunity for you. Barrett places a hand on his chest, his villainous face and the gloomy atmosphere around him contradicting his words. I sincerely pray that the saint candidate can raise the reputation of your family. Railai breaks into a cold sweat. This is a scam set up by the Holy See. The number of people in black robes grows. The number of saint candidates increased from 25 to 148 inches just 1 week, which was already strange. The only explanation is that the Holy See is turning a blind eye to candidates appearing out of nowhere. Blood splatters everywhere. Everyone wants their child to be the saint candidate. When these children are brought into the relic archive, they will inevitably try to eliminate the weakest opponents. Railai clenches his fists. They might even harm the boy during the chaos. He turns to look behind him where Asili is holding Isaac. If that happens, Asili and the child look at their uncle, confused. Railai worries. Isaac will be in danger. A boy from the Joshua family, a stone statue of a child held in a woman's arms, is completely useless, besides his outstanding appearance and family reputation. However, for those who want to seize the superior genes of the Joshua family, or for those who want to gain the favor of the Pope's family, who hate the lineage of the Saintess, that Joshua child is nothing but perfect prey. A mysterious figure in a robe stands before a child. So let's mess with this Joshua kid a little. The child takes the vial the mysterious person gives them, make it so he's not dead but can't do anything, put this medicine in his water, and use the holy poison. Empty glass vials lie scattered on the floor. Teach that kid how cruel the world can be. The young children, pale with fear, all look at something. Make him a laughingstock in front of everyone. A child sits on the floor, chugging down bottle after bottle. The number of empty bottles grows, and he declares to the world, the Joshua kid can never become a saint. After drinking a lot, Isaac cheerfully wipes his mouth and smiles. So good. The other children watch in horror. Everyone, I'm scared. How many bottles has he drunk? Isaac throws an empty bottle at a kid's head and demands more. Bring more! This poison can't kill me! Isaac sits on the floor, thrashing and demanding more. More for me! The kid who is hit in the head sobs. I want to go home. I'm so scared. Two people are whispering. What's wrong with that kid? I thought you put a laxative in there. Or did you grab the wrong bottle? The people around start gossiping. Wow, he's so weird. I don't think so. Let's go. Joshua Suri, hearing the gossip, just holds his head and silently curses Isaac. Why does he keep drinking the drugged bottles? Joshua Suri continues to curse silently, filled with shame. Ugh, what an embarrassment. Stop tarnishing the Joshua name. Someone approaches the happily drinking Isaac. Joshua Suri angrily goes over, snatches the bottle to stop Isaac from drinking, and scolds him. Stop drinking! What's wrong with you? He offers Isaac another bottle. Here. If you want to drink, drink this. He's cut off as Isaac throws a bottle straight at his face. Then Isaac yells, It's not poisoned! Someone takes the bottle away, and Isaac immediately grabs their trouser leg, thrashing and demanding it back. Give it here! Give me the super toxin! The person is helpless against Isaac's stubbornness. Why is he so hyper? The person is explaining, You shouldn't drink this bottle, but this is holy poison. The woman next to him also tries to stop Isaac. Are you crazy? If he drinks that, he'll die. Isaac shouts, Holy poison! Isaac suddenly lunges for the bottle, his eyes wild. Give it here! You have to give it here. On one side, they fight over the bottle, while on the other, they gossip about the holy poison water. It seems he has an extraordinary resistance to poison. I heard that one can reach a level of naturally destroying toxins while training holy power. What? You mean he's already reached that level? But why is he only targeting the poison bottles? Could it be that he wants to make sure others don't drink it because it's dangerous? Joshua Suri, hearing the gossip, just sits in a corner and smiles wearily. Nonsense. Suddenly, a voice rings out, making Suri look up. Really? Kina Barrett appears sparklingly before Suri. You mean he's sacrificing himself? Suri stands up in alarm, looking at Kina in surprise. Kina Barrett? Why is he here? I didn't hear anything about the Pope's family participating. A direct descendant of the Pope's family, Kina Barrett. The other children are also surprised to see Kina here. Wait, that's Kina Barrett. Why is the Pope's family at the Saintess's treasure vault? Isaac, having won the fight for the bottle, sits triumphantly on the other person's back and drinks. Oh, so we know who the winner is. Hooray! Kina looks at Isaac and thinks, so this is the brat who's basically guaranteed to become a saint? But can someone from the Pope's family, Barrett, also have such pure hair color? Kina thinks about the Joshua family's hair color. All the others in that family have hair the color of dirt. Kina smiles sinisterly. What's so strange about a scion of the Pope's family appearing in the Saintess's treasure vault? Kina continues, his words stunning the person next to him. The Pope's family is the leader of all clergy, so the Saintess's treasure vault also belongs to our family. As soon as the boy finishes speaking, everyone around is surprised, which makes him even happier, and he laughs loudly. I'm simply here to take what's mine. Why do you all find that strange? Isaac, who is drinking, looks at Kina with contempt. Look at the way he talks so arrogantly. He's definitely from the Pope's family. A bright flame erupts around Kina, but that kid is a real monster. The amount of holy power he has alone is more than a bishop's. The number one saint candidate. Indeed. Isaac's thoughts are cut short when he hears Kina say, using such a vulgar method to humiliate the host, and you call yourselves saint candidates. Kina continues to speak with contempt. How pathetic. What's so fun about bullying a baby? As Kina speaks, he walks towards Isaac. A baby can't possibly have resistance to poison. The boy kneels down on one knee and looks at Isaac. He must be protected by the power of the saintess. Seeing Kina, Isaac can only curse in his mind. His family's stupidity is hereditary. Kina fakes a smile, creating two small flames in his hands and directing them towards Isaac. Poor thing. It's okay. Let me detoxify you. The people around see Kina using magic and start to gossip. He can already use detoxification holy arts? Look at the size of his holy power. It's at least level 5. Only Isaac is still annoyed, looking at Kina with confusion. Oh, this kid is trying to show off. Isaac watches Kina perform the spell and curses internally. Trying to use me to show off your skills? You're pretty smart, I'll give you that, but… Isaac smiles on the outside, but his hand quickly slaps Kina across the face. Kina is slapped so hard his head turns to the side. Then a boy suddenly points and says, "The holy power, it's gone!" Kina's eyes widen in surprise. Kina quickly pushes Isaac off him, not believing what just happened. My holy power was neutralized? Impossible! By a kid like him? Kina stares in horror at his own palm, as if in disbelief. Is he stronger than me? The boy stares daggers at Isaac, a menacing aura radiating from him as he clenches his fists and silently curses. A bug from the Joshua family. Isaac, with a smug face, provokes Kina. "What are you looking at, kid? I'm going to smash your head with this bottle." As Isaac is threatening Kina, someone rushes over and holds him back. "No, don't do it." Hey, is he looking out for him because they're family? He slapped the person who was trying to save him? How disrespectful. Kina looks at Isaac, confused. Do they really think they have a chance against the Pope's family? Does he really think he can protect him? Isaac, held tightly by Suri, shows his anger but can only curse internally without being able to do anything. You fools. If it weren't for me, you would have gotten a bottle to the head. Kina pretends to be fine and brushes it off. It's okay. I probably just surprised him. He's still just a baby, after all. Kina turns and waves goodbye to everyone as he leaves. Well then, good luck, you Joshua kids. You should at least try to bring back some mud to save your family's face. Isaac grits his teeth in anger, watching Kina leave, unable to do anything because he's being held tightly by Suri and can't move. Suddenly, Kina stops, turns his head, and looks at Isaac with a provocative gaze. But of course, the best treasure here will be mine. You, Joshua, people don't even dare to get close to the Skeleton King's corpse, do you? Everyone looks at Kina, hearing those words come from a young boy's mouth. Suri, hearing Kina, says with frustration, "What a stubborn kid. What the hell is he doing?" causing a scene. Suri is surprised when Isaac suddenly grabs his collar, wanting to fight. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? Suri and Isaac struggle back and forth. The matriarch promised to grant the secret technique to the one who brings back the Skeleton King's corpse. Suri screams in terror, "Melissa, you! Are you toying with my body?" Isaac freezes upon hearing that. Suddenly, Isaac trembles and falls to the ground. Isaac thinks in horror of a dry skeleton wrapped in a red cloth and tied with a bow like a gift. Isaac is sitting among a group of children playing with bottles. He looks up at the sky, utterly frustrated. Remembering his Lich King form, Isaac thinks, I've accumulated centuries worth of mana in that body. If I can get my hands on it, reaching level 10 will be no problem. His eyes burn with anger as he looks at the children around him, but now these kids are watching me from all sides. There's no way to sneak it out. He crushes a bottle and throws it aside. Whatever. Anyone who gets in my way, I'll just step over them. Suddenly, a voice rings out, catching his attention. Everyone, gather around! It's an elder making an announcement. We're about to leave, so listen carefully from now on. He begins. This relic treasury is a sacred sanctuary. It holds the holy relics of past saints. Isaac groans internally. He's starting with the history lesson again. At this rate, when will we ever leave? He turns and crawls in another direction. So boring. Suri looks at him in surprise and asks, Huh? Hey, you! Following Isaac's direction, the boy continues to ask silently, Where are you going? Suddenly, a powerful explosion occurs, surprising Suri, who covers his face and shouts. He yells in panic, Elder! Is Isaac? Meanwhile, Isaac is moving at an incredible speed, flying through the air and happily thinking, Time to use the holy art I just learned. The elder shouts in horror, Isaac, no, that's a forbidden area. He continues, scaring the children around him. If you go that way, all the traps in the relic vault will be activated. Everyone quickly runs towards Isaac, shouting, Stop that bastard! At the Joshua family's banquet hall, Ashley says worriedly to Riley, I hope the young master is okay. Someone in the banquet hall announces, We have established a connection to the inside of the relic treasury. They continue to announce through a magic orb, the spirit beasts are following the third place candidate, so we will provide information. The first door of the relic vault is opened, and the candidates are now entering. Riley thinks to himself with concern, They're already in? An announcement rings out. The candidate currently in third place is Peter S. Simon Goffett. My son? The announcements continue. In second place is Suri Joshua. Gowl scratches his head in surprise. I mean, that's my son. The announcer continues, but hesitates in disbelief at the first place. It's Isaac Joshua. Everyone there is stunned and says in unison, to the astonishment of Riley and Asili, Isaac. As he continues to dash forward, the cheers ring out again. It's Isaac Joshua! The elder, out of breath, runs after him, pleading, Isaac, please, not that way, no! He suddenly steps on a trigger. Then the elder is struck by a bolt of lightning, but he continues to warn, if you go that way, more traps will be activated. Suri jumps back in shock. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Cries for help echo continuously. Help, Suri panics and scolds. You lunatic? Why did you charge in there and cause this mess? Though scared, the boy doesn't forget to run and scream. His complaints are mixed with shouts. The archive's challenge was already life-threatening. Suri reaches out to Isaac as if to grab him. Now we have to avoid the traps set for intruders too. Isaac approaches the door excitedly. So this is the door to the second archive. An announcement about the second trap appears. The second trap has been activated. Entering the side door of the second archive, the boy cries out in fear, Isaac, don't go in there! The ghost chuckles, as if praising him. Truly extraordinary, Master. With the amount of mana you absorbed in the annex, I've been upgraded. Isaac says eagerly, Good. Now I can work you even harder. It complains helplessly. Damn it. He immediately gives an order. Now go and capture all of them for me. The ghost quickly obeys and flies off. Right, my lord. It speeds towards the children resting nearby and hears them say, I didn't expect it to be this hard. As one child sighs, another nearby looks in a direction and wonders, this is why saints are so strong. He points at Suri, who is floating in midair, and asks, Isn't that the Joshua kid? Another boy replies, Yes, it is. They ask each other angrily, How can he fly? His family must have taught him beforehand. It's so unfair. Meanwhile, Suri thinks helplessly, No, you idiots, they didn't teach me. It turns out the ghost is holding the boy even as he thinks I'm floating without any control. It brings Suri back and drops him to the ground, reporting, Master, I've captured the messenger. The boy, after being thrown down and landing face first, warns, Stop this madness right now! I don't know how you passed the first challenge of the archive, the mandate of Heaven's choice, but from the second archive onwards, a single mistake can kill you. Suri continues to rant, You have to face your fears and choose the difficult path to grow stronger. Isaac gets annoyed and hits him, thinking, You're too loud. He orders Suri, who is still in pain, whatever, explain what's in the second archive. Suri, still lying flat on the floor, turns his head and says, Once you enter the archive, you must not attack the enemy. Do you understand? Don't attack them. Isaac is confused and asks, What nonsense are you talking about? Why can't I attack the enemy? The boy continues to panic and remind him, That's the only way to pass the second archive. No matter what appears, just stand still for 3 minutes until they disappear. Suri says in a pleading voice, Tell me you understand. If not, we'll both die. Isaac narrows his eyes. How empty. Are you testing my patience? The boy crawls up in fear. Someone really died because of this. He walks to the gate and says, All right, easy peasy. Isaac puts his hand on the gate and smirks. Just don't attack, right? 3 minutes is no problem at all. A surge of magic appears around his hand. Then the door slowly opens and an announcement is made. Welcome to the floor of serenity. Patience is a virtue and reason is cool. Stay calm and unshakable. A stream of light appears before Isaac, and your patience will lead you to the light. A bold footstep echoes in the vast space. It's Kina and his entourage moving forward. A nervous boy asks, Are you sure this is okay? We're at the very back, you know? Kina laughs cunningly. There's no reason for me to take the dangerous path ahead. These meat shields can do that for me. He continues to explain, And did you forget that a level 8 demon is at the entrance to the second archive? The people who went ahead will surely be stuck there. Kina points forward knowingly. See? A powerful light bursts forth, blinding the questioning follower. He continues sinisterly. The trial has begun. Ahead, the door is slowly opening. A gentle voice, like a reminder, annoys Isaac. Don't be distracted. A beautifully sculpted face gradually appears. It turns out to be a very handsome god, gently announcing, And your patience will lead you to the light. He continues, and if not, before he can finish, Isaac furiously unleashes an attack, destroying him. Damn it, what the hell was that? Suri watches in horror as he attacks. The boy remembers his earlier promise and thinks, 3 minutes is no problem. You liar? Suri cries, looking up at the sky. You're really insane. Isaac retorts angrily, how can I be patient after seeing a god's face? The ghost chimes in, I think 3 seconds was long enough. The announcement for the second door rings out. You have failed. It continues, while a wooden hand appears. For those who cannot endure, a wooden golem steps out. Let divine punishment descend. Suri stammers in fear, looking up. G. Meanwhile, Isaac is already gathering his power. He unleashes a terrifying attack as if to tear the monster apart. Suri is once again speechless. G. The power source in the golem's stomach has been destroyed by Isaac. Finally, Suri sees the whole thing clearly, and it leaves him even more shocked. What the hell? The wooden golem has been reduced to a pile of splinters by Isaac. Isaac thinks to himself, this is level 8? Are you kidding me? He's so angry he can't control his expression. This golem was created by the magic of my subordinate. As Isaac remembers his old subordinate, he thinks, the elite demon spirits of the Skeleton King, the 14 familiars. This is their unique type of magic. The wooden splinters of the golem slowly disappear as he thinks, did they work like dogs for the Joshua family? Or could this place have some connection to my body? Continuing his thoughts, he moves forward. I have to see for myself. Suri asks in surprise, hey, where are you going? Suddenly, a loud, smug voice rings out, making both of them turn. I didn't expect the Joshua kids to actually be of help to me. A hand pushes aside some nearby branches. The red-haired boy, looking all-knowing, points at Isaac and Suri. See? I told you the Joshua family knows how to pass this trial. It turns out the boy is the devout cardinal, one of the 5 faiths, the 3rd son of the ducal family of Sepet, Nizir Sepet. The boy eagerly commands, thanks for defeating the gatekeeper for us. Now, move aside. We'll be the first to enter the second archive. The children around continuously tattle. You have no idea how much we suffered because of that little brat. That's right. If you go in first, you'll trigger the traps. Isaac calmly thinks, so many people survived? Sepet points at Suri and says, I didn't expect the Joshua kids to be so wicked. To Suri and Isaac's surprise, the boy continues his accusation. Suri, you're cooperating with him, aren't you? The boy panics and denies it, but no one pays attention. No, we're not! Hey, I said no! Are you listening? Ignoring Suri's words, Sepet continues, this kid avoided all the traps, right? Do you think he could have done that on his own? He sees the ring on Isaac's neck and confidently asserts, see? It's an artifact. Immediately, Zepet snatches the ring. This ring must have something in it. He proudly announces to the kids around him, everyone, look! With this, we can avoid all the traps ahead. Suri helplessly mutters. He's completely misunderstood. The boy continues to watch Isaac and worries, he's sitting so still, it's making me nervous. He's not the type to let others take his things. Sepet turns around and smugly declares, move to the back, you Joshua, family members. He says excitedly, the one who will bring back the Skeleton King's corpse, something no one has ever done before, will be me and no one else. The 3rd son of the ducal family of the cardinal has just finished his sentence when Sepet immediately steps on a trigger. As of now, Suddenly, a light flashes, illuminating the boy's joyful face, making him wonder. An explosion occurs right where he's standing, making Sepet scream in pain. The kids around scream, it's a trap! What's happening? Suri suddenly realizes, Isaac. Looking at Isaac's satisfied face, the boy continues his speculation. He's using them as bait. A thick cloud of dust and smoke rises in the archive. Suri, carrying Isaac, walks past the injured children lying on the ground, heading towards the second archive. Isaac smiles with satisfaction, thinking, all my rivals here have been eliminated. He suddenly stops, but Isaac wonders, grabbing Suri's hair, why are those brats following me? The black-haired boy guesses admiringly, that baby must have some kind of divine sense. Another boy adds, maybe because he comes from the Saintess's family. They continue to convince each other. Nizer was acting weird. That ring seems to be just an antique. Another confirms, that's right, The Joshua family would never do something so unfair. The ghost smiles happily and announces, "It seems they have understood your greatness, Master. How wonderful." Isaac grits his teeth and replies, "I don't want their recognition." Suri weakly advises in his head, "Run before it's too late, you guys. This kid is scarier than any demon." Suddenly, a praising voice rings out, making Isaac wonder, if there really is a saint, I think it would be someone like you. The friendly-looking blonde boy introduces himself. "A pleasure to meet you, youngest of the Joshuas. My name is Paris Julius, the second prince of the kingdom of Julius." The nearby kids whisper to each other, but it doesn't escape Isaac's ears. "That's the kingdom to the east of the holy empire of Helen. I heard the prince there received a blessing from the gods." He silently plans, "Oh, this guy seems useful." Suri's hesitant voice calls out, attracting Isaac's attention. "Isaac!" The boy announces, "We've arrived." Suri looks up at the door and says, "This is the door to the third archive." Two glowing circles speak up. "Welcome, candidates." A hooded angel with wings gradually appears and continues, "This is the floor of memory." The gatekeeping angels solemnly declare, "Show us your determination and courage." The children around cheer with joy, much to Suri's concern. "All right, we can proceed to the next archive. It's a good thing we followed him instead of Nizer. We're gonna get the Skeleton King's corpse." The gatekeepers continue. "The trial is simple. Defeat us and claim your glory." The kids guess among themselves. They said to show courage, so we have to fight them, right? "Let's try." Isaac stares at the gatekeeper, deep in thought. That gatekeeper, could it be? He immediately has a plan. Oh, right. Isaac wears a sinister smile and thinks, this is going to be entertaining. He waves his hand at the children. They don't understand and ask Isaac. Meanwhile, Suri seems to have realized something. Isaac's decisions are always right. The gatekeepers are lying. The boy remembers and analyzes. The first archive was about choice. Isaac just ran through it. Suri continues to recall. The second archive was about calmness. Isaac wasn't calm at all. Back in the present, the boy guesses silently. And the third one is about memory. That's the hint. We have to remember what happened in the first two trials. After some consideration, Suri concludes, we can't attack them. Isaac continues to wave his hand at the kids, babbling, all of you, back away. The children ask, over there? Suri wonders, huh? That's strange. This time, he chose the right answer. The boy speculates in surprise. No matter how evil he is, he's still a descendant of the Saintess. Could the Saintess's kind nature have emerged? As he makes this assertion, Suri holds on to Isaac's leg. That's right. Maybe I've misunderstood Isaac all this time. Just as the boy starts to think well of Isaac, he unleashes an attack on the gatekeeper. He's going to sacrifice himself to guide everyone down the right path. Isaac laughs with amusement, much to Suri's dumbfounded shock. The gatekeeper roars in fury. You! He grips his weapon. Have chosen incorrectly. He slashes straight at the children, terrifying them. The kids scream in terror. Help! They continue to scream their heads off. Help! Mommy! Suri can't believe it. What is this? The boy glances at Isaac in fear. Could it be? Isaac wears a joyful smile, matching Suri's horror. You lunatic! Isaac thinks excitedly. It's been a while since I've seen these guys. The gatekeepers reveal their terrifying true forms. It's foolish to trust others so easily, Saint candidates. Isaac explains, they are deceivers, created by the magic of the 14 familiars. He excitedly commands them while Suri's panic turns to despair. Show these brats how cruel life can be. A huge explosion occurs, flames erupting. A kid shields his face and asks frantically, where did Joshua go? Another kid is already crying. They were just here. The two of them have turned invisible and are watching from behind. The kid shouts, find them now. At this moment, Isaac sits smugly on Suri Joshua's neck, while the boy below is stunned. Paris, Julius watches from behind, all three of them invisible. Level 6, Holy Art, Invisibility. He thinks, Uncle gave me this spell for emergencies. This is indeed a great time to use it. Suri Joshua is speechless. Paris Julius behind him has figured it all out. He approaches and says, thank you. Thank you for casting the holy art on me as well. He ruffles Suri's hair and says in a childish tone, as if to say, whatever. He throws the ring into Julius's hand, his baby voice seeming to say, take this. He asks, what is this? Julius puts it on his finger. A ring? He says emotionally to Isaac, "You're giving this to me because I'm not used to fighting demons?" But he just scratches his ear, pretending not to understand. He takes the ring and says, sincerely, "Thank you very much. I will not forget this kindness." As he holds the ring, a red circle suddenly surrounds it. He says, "I will pass this message to my father." Before he can finish, he suddenly screams. The observer, standing behind, proudly praises Isaac. "Truly my master." He laughs with delight, as if to say, "The most powerful holy power belongs to the prince." Suri Joshua looks up at him with concern. "Uncle, what kind of monster have you brought into our family?" The voices of the kids echo, "Gather around. Can anyone use a protective holy art?" The children are casting spells. The older boy says, "I'll use the protective holy art first." The other child says, "Stand behind me." The gatekeepers strike forcefully, warning them, "Accept your punishment." The boy signals with his hand. "Now!" The other boy concentrates his power for an attack. "Get ready to take this." The boy unleashes his move. "Take that!" But before he can throw the protective holy art, he slips and falls flat on his face. His friend in front sees this and is stunned. Then he turns back and asks him, "Hey, what's wrong?" A magic ring flies from behind. The boy sees it and frantically asks, "What's going on?" At this moment, he is controlled by the ring's magic, kneeling on the ground. The gatekeeper is bewildered, not knowing what happened. He jumps up to survey the area. "Did someone else believe our lies?" The observer reports to Isaac, "In this way, the ring has absorbed all the holy power of the children." He points to his left, as if to order it to follow. "Go that way now." It immediately obeys. "All right, as you wish." "Hey, what's wrong?" "Don't feel it's unfair, kid." The observer flies in that direction. After seeing his friend fall, the boy asks, "Hey, what's wrong?" The gatekeeper thinks, "Don't feel it's unfair, kid." He continues to think, "The lie about not attacking the enemy has been neutralized. Fainting after having all your holy power drained is better than being injured." The observer drains all the boy's holy power and reports to Isaac, "Master, it's almost done." A golden red light appears. It wonders, "What is that?" A body's silhouette appears, terrifying it. It's immediately flung away. A voice rings out, surprising them. "Found you." It's Kina Barit. He's here to find Isaac Joshua. At this moment, Isaac looks at him with disgust. I was wondering where he went. He finally showed up. Suri below is filled with fear. "Oh my God, I knew he was a genius." But this is... He manifests a pair of wings. It's the wings of an eagle. Everyone is in awe. Summoning a holy spirit at that age is just too powerful. He raises his hand and says to Isaac, "You surprised me. I didn't think anyone here could defeat a demon besides me." He retracts his holy spirit and continues, "Or did you set a trap for the other children like in the first trial?" Then he was about to say, "If that's the case, but was cut off by the other kids." "No." The boys explain, "That child tried to pass the trial for us." The boy next to him adds, "He even showed us which way to go." They emphasize, "He is our benefactor." Isaac says, "Meaning, those kids are also crazy." The observer standing beside asks, "Is this what the world calls a spirit of submission?" Kina Barrett turns to look, as if to complain, and questions them. "Benefactor? You call yourselves saint candidates and you're not ashamed? I can't believe you need the help of a child like that." Two people angrily retort, "Hey, you were hiding in the back the whole way. While we were looking for traps, you did nothing." Another criticizes Kina Barrett. "He's right, Isaac is more saintly than you." The voices continue to ring out. "You avoided all the trouble." They continue, "As soon as we get out of here, we'll tell our parents everything." He looks around at everyone with concern. The criticism doesn't stop. "You did nothing. It was all thanks to Isaac. We'll tell our parents that following the Joshua family is the wise path." Isaac above smiles with satisfaction, while Suri below thinks, "That's not it, you guys. This wicked child is using you." The boy says, "Without them, we would have been in big trouble." Suddenly, the ground where they are standing shakes violently. Everyone turns around in shock. It's a giant sphere rolling towards them, making the place shake violently. Everyone moves towards the door. Someone asks, "That's the door to the third archive, right?" Someone else answers, "I think so." "Does that mean the second trial is over?" They agree. It seems so. Suddenly, the sphere speaks. "Congratulations, candidates, for passing the second trial. I am the final guardian protecting this archive." It continues, "Now, choose." Everyone murmurs. Kina Barrett stands there silently. The sphere speaks again. Will you choose your treasure and end the trial here, or will you face the challenge to proceed to the third archive? Someone makes a choice. Of course, we'll choose the latter. The sphere warns, choose wisely. The sphere repeats, will you choose your treasure and end the trial here, or will you face the challenge to proceed to the third archive? It sets the condition, if you pass the challenge, you will find the treasure of the third archive. But if not, his words stun everyone. You will die. The observer reminds Isaac, Master, based on the amount of mana I feel from that voice. He looks down as if to say, right, it's a dragon. He smiles grimly and thinks, then what he said about dying is probably true. A kid says, still, I still want to take on the challenge. We've gone through so much to get here, another agrees. That's right. If we can get the treasure from the third archive, we'll become saints. They all want to continue, saying to each other, me too, I want to enter the third archive. The sphere hears this and says, so you want to face the challenge, despite the danger. It continues, very well. Everyone is stunned, then face the challenge. The sphere speaks, you who have gathered to become saints. Then the sphere explodes, surprising everyone. It only leaves one sentence, then face the challenge. Everyone is uneasy. Only Isaac is full of excitement. The sphere's voice rings out, the final challenge is quite simple. Everyone sees the holy statue before them. The sphere's voice rings out, praise your God. Everyone wonders, what? Another statue? They ask. Is this a statue of our God? The sphere's voice continues, show your reverence for your God. Only those who have proven their faith can reach the third treasure. A kid asks, we just need to kneel before the statue and pray, right? Someone else denies it. But this is a challenge. I think that's too simple. Isaac is disgusted and doesn't want to say anything. He grits his teeth in anger. No way. I will not kneel before this bastard, not to a bastard who harassed me for years and betrayed me in the end. The boy scratches his head and steps forward. I mean, it's not too difficult. I just need to pray to our Lord. Just do that, right? The boy kneels on one knee. To our supreme and most high, worthy of all glory and honor, he says reverently, your servant offers his worship. The sphere praises, you have learned well. Good, you have passed. The boy is overjoyed. Awesome. Seeing this, everyone says to each other, all we have to do is pray? Really? Isaac suddenly jumps off Suri, surprising him. Isaac! He says to Isaac, pray. He kicks Suri, angrily saying, why should I? Suri, in pain, clutches his leg and rolls on the ground. Isaac looks up angrily. Kina Barit stands there with his hands behind his back. We learned how to pray at the Holy See. Behold. Kina Barrett kneels, raising his hands. His face radiant, this is the correct posture you must adopt when worshiping our Lord. Seeing this, everyone wants to follow. I want to do that too. Me too. Everyone says, to our supreme Lord. A kid stands there stunned. The sphere reminds him, what are you waiting for? Will you give up and accept death? He quickly denies it. No, I'll do it. Others agree and perform the ritual. Me too. Suddenly, the sphere notices, that child, why aren't you kneeling? Isaac sits there defiantly, I'm not crazy enough to do that. Everyone turns to look at him, wondering, what's wrong with him? Does he have a problem with his faith? So the rumor that the Joshua family has lost its faith is true? Hearing this, Isaac scratches his head and thinks, monster, don't tarnish our family's reputation. Just pray. Kina Barit smirks and walks past. This will all be recorded. Does that boy want to lose his chance to become a saint? No matter how talented he is, without faith, it's all useless. Isaac pouts with disdain, following Kina Barrett's train of thought. I shouldn't have paid attention to him from the start. The sphere speaks up. This behavior is truly disrespectful, child of the saint's family. Isaac angrily raises his hand. So what? You dog. He says resolutely, I'd rather die than kneel before that idiot. He remains silent. He challenges, just kill me. Suddenly, he can't control his own body. He is forced to his knees by magic. Then the statue speaks blasphemously. Kneel. He yells, get lost. Isaac angrily uses his holy power. I'll destroy that statue. The observer tries to stop him. Master, this is too dangerous. He shouts angrily, clenching his fists. Die! Suddenly, it speaks again. Excellent. His clenched fist relaxes. He says nothing, just looks a bit confused. The sphere's voice continues. You have passed, little baby. Enter the third archive. Kina Barrett is stunned. Wait, what? He points at Isaac, sitting there, and asks angrily. You said we had to show our faith to pass, so how did that kid pass without praying? It's ridiculous. The sphere's words confuse Isaac even more. Only that baby is worthy to pass through this door. Only he has shown his faith in God. It turns to him and asks, do you really not understand? It explains, you knelt before a statue, not before God himself. The statue's explanation stuns everyone. Is your faith kneeling before an idol, an image or symbol of God used as an object of worship? Suri looks on with concern, deep in thought. Even if it's a statue of our God, it's still an idol. Seeing this, everyone thinks, we've been tricked. They turn to each other. But that's ridiculous. That statue looks just like our God in the holy paintings. Another speaks up, the scriptures do say not to worship idols. The voice continues to explain, look at that child. Even in the face of death, he did not yield and kept his faith. Therefore, only that child is worthy to enter the third archive. The observer hides behind him and snickers. Faith? Isaac stands up and angrily tells it, shut up! Kina Barrett refuses to accept it. I cannot accept that. He steps forward and says, the baby can't even talk. There's no way to prove that he didn't kneel because of his faith. The observer whispers from behind. He has a point. You didn't want to. He agrees. Right. He continues, besides, if the child has such faith, his question leaves Isaac speechless. Why doesn't the baby have a holy mark? Hearing this, someone asks, huh? He doesn't have one? I have one. How can a saint candidate not have a holy mark? He smiles meaningfully and looks over. He thinks to himself, the baby is the only one among the candidates without a holy mark. Give up, kid. You're not worthy of being a saint if you don't even have a holy mark. The voice asks again, a saint candidate without a holy mark? It's because he's still a child. The answer leaves him with no rebuttal. The statue suddenly changes its stance, surprising everyone. Kina Barrett yells, how is that possible? Wait, you can move all along? It says, I'm being serious. It's because he's still just a baby. Kina Barrett still wants to enter, pleading, then let me in too. If someone without a holy mark can enter, then so can I, because I have a holy mark. Someone else wants to go along and says, you're right, I have a holy mark too. This proves we are candidates. It replies, you kids need to realize that you don't have it because you're special. It asks everyone, do you all think the same? Everyone answers yes. It asks again, so you all want to enter the third archive? Everyone answers yes. It thinks for a moment, then continues, then there's no other way. I'll let you all in. Stunning everyone. He replies, yeah, now we can enter the third archive. Suri is stunned and thinks, is he letting us in that easily? It continues, if you want to fly into the fire like moths, then go ahead. This leaves everyone bewildered. The statue gradually disappears. All right, I'll let you in. The door opens. Darkness envelops them, like poison. Everyone breathes it in and finds it hard to breathe. The voice continues, can you feel it? That is the dark mana radiating from the body of the Skeleton King. Know your place, fools. I was going to spare those who couldn't withstand the dark mana. Everyone is struggling to breathe, kneeling on the ground and coughing. I can't take it. At this moment, Isaac laughs loudly, filled with triumph. Yes! He's overjoyed. Here it is! My body! The body of the Skeleton King! My body is in there. He raises his hand to wipe away his drool, his eyes losing their humanity, looking extremely greedy, as he exclaims, oh my, look at all that dark mana overflowing. Isaac's mouth twists into a savage grin. The other children feel it but have the opposite reaction, looking at him in awe and exclaiming, look at the child who proved his faith. That's the face of a courageous warrior. But they quickly realize something is wrong and their eyes widen in horror. Wait a minute, his eyes have lost focus. What kind of baby is that? The golden crystal energy sphere speaks again. It's not too late. The god's voice booms with overwhelming power. Those who cannot smile in the face of death may turn back and leave. The voice offers another choice. If you give up here, I will allow you to choose a treasure from the second archive. Suri, terrified, looks at the black energy and hesitates. Damn it, how am I supposed to get through that dark mana? The other children are no exception, trembling and cowering on the ground, tears streaming down their faces. Let's not go in. We could really die. I think I'll just choose the best item from the second archive. A calm footstep approaches, a clear declaration. No, I don't need anything from the second archive. Only Kina Barit stands up bravely to face it. All of us will head to the third archive. He boldly demands, and please, activate all the traps in the third archive. The two cowardly children, upon hearing this, become even more terrified and curse him internally. This lunatic! The sphere says with some excitement, "Oh, are you serious?" Kina Barit spreads his arms and explains, "No saint in history has ever been able to retrieve the corpse of the Skeleton King, not even the renowned Saintess Melissa." The crystal sphere praises him. "It seems you know something about the third archive, don't you?" But he is very confident in his own speculation. There's no way Saintess Melissa would let children die. I'm sure there are preventive measures. Kina Barrett raises his hand and asserts, "I don't want to hear that we obtain the treasure without any obstacles." His eyes are full of confidence and determination as he declares again, "Therefore, please return the third archive to its original dangerous state, so I can receive an evaluation even greater than the Saintess herself." Isaac sits with his hand on his chin, glancing over and judging, this kid has lost his mind too. The sphere confirms its agreement with Kina Barrett's request. If you say so, then fine. It continues, its body radiating a powerful golden light mixed with black energy, making the children nervous and on guard. This will certainly help to better determine who will be the saint. A child cries and shoves Kina Barrett away, screaming, "You go in by yourself!" But unexpectedly, the black energy envelops everyone, making them float, forcing everyone to participate. "Why are you dragging us along?" Their legs struggle, but they are easily lifted up. Everyone is teleported to another room. The children, still shaken, collapse and gasp for air. In contrast, Isaac is excited and looks around. Oh, what a mess! The observer notices something and frantically points, reporting, "Look over there, master!" It points to a dark hand displayed in the distance. Seeing the skeletal hand radiating dark energy, it is overjoyed as if it found a treasure and exclaims, "It's your body, master!" Isaac, delighted, clenches his hands, his mouth stretching into a terrifying grin as he praises, "Well done, my child, my body. It has absorbed the energy in the third archive." The children, terrified by the surrounding dark energy, exclaim in amazement, "Is that the corpse of the Skeleton King? Just a hand radiates so much dark mana." Isaac smirks slyly, denying their words in his head as he looks at it with greed. "It's not even a whole hand, just a thumb. Is that all that's left? The rest is a fake." The hand displayed on the stone pedestal is entirely made of stone, with only one finger being the real thing from the Demon King. And yet, just one finger has created an incredibly abundant source of demonic power that overwhelms everything. Suddenly, a fierce bull-like creature appears out of nowhere, leaps into the air, and roars, its sound echoing through the heavens. Two children see it, terrified, holding their heads with their eyes wide and screaming, "Ah, it's a demon! I thought they wouldn't appear after the second trial." Normally, yes, but earlier, Kina Barrett made a bold declaration. He requested that all safety measures be removed. Isaac looks at the bull, a sense of familiarity stirring. "Wait, It has landed, angrily cursing, "You insects!" Its arms are spread wide, its muscular body tense with anger. "You dare to usurp the body." A terrified child points at Kina Barrett. "This is all your fault. How will you take responsibility?" But he is extremely confident, casually waving his hand and stepping forward. "Trust me, I'll make sure all of you can leave here with a treasure." With a confident face and a victorious smile, he calculates in his head, the 14 elite familiars of the Skeleton King, trained by him, are the idiots who were captured by the Pope's family. Having a high-grade item, Kina Barrett is extremely confident as he faces the ferocious bull. "I have prepared a holy art against this thing. The treasure is mine." His eyes exude a terrifying aura, like a hunting eagle. The power in his eyes, like a majestic god of justice, threatens the demon, making it waver slightly. Isaac sits, picking his ear, not caring at all. In contrast, the children's eyes widen in amazement. "That's the light of the Pope's family!" This immense power surprises even Kina Barrett, who exclaims, "Good, it worked!" He joyfully prepares to strike again. Now, I will seize his triumph is short-lived. A voice rings out, making Kinabarit's face turn pale with fear. Is that you? The demon is completely unaffected. On the contrary, it's even more ferocious and angry, looking at him with hateful eyes. It roars a challenge, ready for battle. The one who dares to usurp the body of my king. Meanwhile, outside a large gate, the entrance to the ancient artifact vault, the representatives stand worriedly about the situation. What's happening inside? Communication has been cut off, so a young man, holding a piece of paper, frantically announces, "Big trouble! The demon seal in the third archive has been broken!" Hearing this, the two brothers from the Joshua family are shocked. Simon S. covers his mouth in horror and asks, but gets no answer. Rai, is that one of the 14 familiars? He is still stunned and confused, wondering why. How could this happen? If it's one of the 14 familiars, everyone in the archive will be in danger. The representatives are all worriedly trying to find a solution. What about the elders who were sent in as supervisors? I didn't expect the children to be in this situation. The two elders outside hesitate to explain. They try to disable the traps in the archive and then disappeared. Doesn't that mean the children are in mortal danger? The anxieties keep piling up. How can the children deal with that monster? We have to stop the trial and get them out. Suddenly, the gate behind them begins to glow again. The members standing there are confused and have to shield their eyes from the light. This is... Joshua Rai opens his eyes in surprise and wonders, the ancient artifact vault is opening? The light grows larger, overpowering everything outside, leaving everyone confused. What is this intense light? They cautiously warn each other, "Please step back from the entrance. It's dangerous, as dark mana might spill out." No, wait. A hand points at the glowing gate and remarks, "I don't feel the presence of a demon." The elder asks in confusion, "Has it been defeated?" Hiraiberit smiles sinisterly, proud in his heart. "You did it, Kina." The murmurs continue. Was that the demon protecting the Skeleton King's corpse? One of the children must have defeated it. Simon S. realizes something and calls out in fear, "Rai, could it be?" He now bites his lip, his face grim. The whispers continue, asserting, "It must be Kinabarit, right?" Oh, as expected of someone from the Pope's family. People surround Hiraiberit, smiling and saying, "Congratulations, Cardinal," a result befitting the strongest saint candidate. He is overjoyed and smugly looks at the gate. It seems Kina did very well. Then, his gaze shifts to a cold, sharp glare. The cardinal turns to look at Joshua Rai, smiling savagely, his mind filled with contempt and arrogance. "Joshua, this is the end of your foolish resistance against the power of the Pope's family. Now that we have the Skeleton King's corpse, you will have to bow before us." That smile doesn't fade, but a new scheme follows. It's time to cut short your noble act. A loud voice rings out, making Rai and Harai look intently. They look with two contrasting emotions. Look, the children are coming out. Joshua Rai's worry is evident on his face as he bites his lip and silently prays, "Isaac, Suri." Seeing the small figures gradually emerge from the gate, "Please be safe." The representatives stand before the gate, waiting with mixed emotions. The children emerge safely, crying and hugging their relatives. Joshua Rai is relieved. Some are injured, but only slightly. Thank goodness. But the one he's most eager to see still hasn't appeared. Rai walks towards the gate, worried. The children who entered the third archive still haven't returned. His anxieties show on his expectant face. Did they run into some kind of accident? A voice rings out, catching their attention. The last of the children are coming now. The children emerge with gaunt faces, all of them exhausted, looking like little old men trying to walk. Their relatives recognize them and cry out with joy, "Peter, Suri!" The fathers, both happy and worried, run to their children. "Peter, are you okay? Suri?" The father and son from the Joshua family reunite, hugging each other tightly. "Suri, father!" He asks with concern, "Are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere?" Railai's face is now as cold as ice, his anxiety at its peak. Where is Isaac? Seeing everyone reunited except for his nephew, Railai is filled with unease. Isn't Isaac with them? The cardinal also reunites with his son, calling his name Kina. Looking at his trembling son, the words he speaks are not of concern, but of results and achievements. What's in your hand? Hiraiberit continues to ask, where is the Skeleton King's corpse? Kina, worried about not achieving the desired result, stammers. Well, he angrily reprimands him. Who told you to bring back such a useless thing? From high above, a light appears. In midair, a gate gradually opens, radiating an intense light that makes everyone look up. Someone quickly recognizes it and points. Look, in midair appears a wolf with lustrous golden fur, looking very sacred. In its mouth, it holds a baby. A wolf! Everyone looks up in astonishment, realizing something. Wait a minute. They look closer and see the wolf carrying a smirking newborn in its mouth, and they all shout in unison, "It's Isaac!" The golden wolf gradually descends. Joshua, Riley, and Ashley rush forward, overjoyed, to check on him. "Isaac! Young Master Isaac!" She immediately recognizes it and tells him, "But young Master Riley, that wolf is the guardian spirit who watches over the relic vault." Unexpectedly, this golden wolf has such a noble status. Hearing this, Isaac claps his hands in praise of her knowledge. This wolf, radiating holy aura and immense charisma, is a holy dragon. She's right. It's the young dragon that protects the treasure. Although its form is that of a wolf, the aura it emits is clearly that of a holy dragon. Joshua Riley looks up in amazement. It's the dragon, the matriarch, who has a deep connection with the dragon race, summoned into the relic vault. Its very existence is noble. He approaches his nephew and hears something strange, wondering, what's that sound? Isaac is happily resting his hands behind his head, sucking on the Demon King's thumb. Everyone realizes it and screams in horror. Elder, the thing that Isaac is sucking on, they look again to confirm, but it seems to be true. Is that really the corpse of the Skeleton King? The elder matriarch is horrified and scratches her head in disbelief. You can't put that in your mouth. In contrast, the elder patriarch folds his hands in joy. The boy did it. He brought back the Skeleton King's corpse. A voice calls out, making the white-haired boy flinch in fear. Kina! The cardinal is interrogating his son with terrifying eyes. Did you give the Skeleton King's corpse to that child? This terrifies Kina, who can only stammer, He glares with sharp, hawk-like eyes, threatening the boy. I wouldn't call that a smart tactic. Hirai Berit says from behind with a sarcastic tone, but that's the mercy of a saint, saving the honor of the host. Hearing this, the elders speak up and reprimand him. What nonsense are you talking about? This child is the one who took the Skeleton King's corpse. At this moment, Isaac is still gleefully making the bull pose with a demonic smile. Hirai still tries to argue, you are all foolish. This confuses his son, who remembers, what? Its eyes seem haunted by something, not believing the truth. Why? At that time, when he unleashed his ultimate spell, it was easily broken by the demon. Why didn't my holy art work? At that moment, he grew angrier, his eyes turning red, looking as if he wanted to eat Kina alive. You are all insects. A terrifying killing intent makes all the children collapse and suffer on the verge of death. It charges forward powerfully, accompanied by curses. Die! At that moment, the other children try to run away. Only Kina stands still, watching it charge. A shocking explosion sends smoke billowing everywhere. When he opens his eyes, he is still confused. He sees a shield protecting the children, saving them in the nick of time, a protective barrier. They wonder in confusion, the blue color is that? They look at the newborn baby and the energy radiating from him. Isaac is angrily trying to protect them, making them realize, from the child of the Joshua family? No! The demon grows even angrier and roars, you filthy priests! You dare to covet the body of the great Skeleton King? With that, it charges at Isaac again with another stab. Die! He is not to be trifled with either. His hand gathers energy, and he shouts angrily, you fool! An explosion of blue smoke billows up, echoing with a child's scolding. You don't recognize your own master? Back in reality, everyone present looks up at this rare sight with awe, but their minds are filled with confusion. The dragon wouldn't lie, would it? Does this mean the Joshua family's child really brought it back? So what did Kina do? Joshua Riley steps forward and says, but the dragon, it's too dangerous. He raises his hand and explains with a look of disbelief. The 14 familiars are not monsters that normal children can handle. Why did you release their seal? The holy dragon replies in confusion. The 14 familiars? What are you referring to? Suddenly, criticisms are directed at Kina. It was that white-haired kid over there who requested their release. The children who were present testify, still trembling. That's right, Kina asked the dragon to activate all the traps in the third vault. He even forced us to follow, putting us in danger. Angry glares are directed at Hirai's father and son. Does that mean our children nearly died because of that boy? How could someone from the Pope's family do such a thing? If it weren't for Isaac defeating the demon, things could have ended very badly. The criticisms continue to pour down on the cardinal. They turn their backs on him and admire the newborn, which only infuriates him more. By the way, does this mean that Joshua's son has defeated the Pope's family's son? Praises are sung, and all attention shifts to Joshua Riley. Isn't that wonderful? Even though the boy can't become a saint, he's that strong. So the rumors about the Joshua family's comeback are true. This uncle is extremely proud and thinks to himself, Isaac, you really did a great job. The elders try to coax Isaac with sweet words. Kid, spit out the bone. It's dangerous. Can't you show a little mercy? But unexpectedly, he bluntly waves his hand in refusal, stunning them. How is this child so strong? Sitting on the back of the holy dragon, he smugly crosses his arms and thinks, my mana is overflowing down here. I wonder if it's thanks to survival that I can absorb it instantly. The elder matriarch approaches from a distance and says cheerfully, Isaac did a great job. When the matriarch hears about this, she'll be very happy. Joshua Riley still replies hesitantly, of course. A scheming smile forms on her face. With this, her face is full of schemes to use this power to eliminate the Demon King. We can finally track the Skeleton King. We can find the Skeleton King's soul using tracking magic. Isaac, hearing this, pouts indignantly. He thinks deeply, remembering his grandmother, and suddenly realizes, wait a minute, so this is why they wanted my body? The elders approach Isaac with greedy desire, reaching out to grab him. Give it to me, Isaac? They say in a dark, pleading tone. Let's track down the Skeleton King and tear him apart. This terrifies him to the core. What the hell? The elder eagerly extends his hands to welcome him like a golden treasure. We will finally be able to settle our 150-year-old grudge. How wonderful. Unexpectedly, the holy dragon suddenly kneels, and at the same time, Isaac swallows the Demon King's finger, causing the elders to panic, their eyes about to pop out. He even points at his mouth in a challenging gesture, leaving them speechless with horror. Then he and the wolf soar into the sky, thinking, you lunatics, leaving a chorus of tragic screams below. Isaac! In the luxurious, opulent palace, discussions echo continuously. A worried elder asks, have you found it yet? The female elder replies, I don't think it's here. The other elders also despair, one after another. Why hasn't it appeared? Isaac sits to one side, gritting his teeth. Go ahead and look for it all day. See if you can find it. He glances away, thinking, still, what happened in the relic vault worries me more. An image of Isaac attacking powerfully, creating a huge collision, gradually appears. He babbles, you don't even recognize your own master? He continues to attack the demon, making it realize, this mana, is that you, master? Isaac is surprised after hearing the demon's question. It continues to express its loyalty. When I heard of your passing, I thought my world had collapsed. But I always knew you would return to us, master. The Demon King's words trail off as it slowly disintegrates. I need to serve you, master. Isaac reaches out as if to pull it back. He was captured by he curses angrily. Damn it! Speak clearly before you die! I still have many questions for you! Back in the present, Isaac speculates curiously. The ones who captured him were from the Pope's family, right? A hand offers him a milk bottle while he's deep in thought, confusing him. I need to investigate this. Riley is yelling, much to the ghost's amusement. Isaac, go poop now! He continues to order the servant. Bring more laxatives, a stronger kind. While the ghost continues to laugh at him, Isaac is furious. This damn house! Soon, I'll turn everything upside down. The elder nervously bites his nails. If the matriarch finds out, she might kill us all. She really could gut the boy. Riley reassures him, calm down, elder, it'll be fine. Unable to remain calm, he also bites his nails and trembles, although she has dissected one of her own sons before. But anyway, the boy is her own grandson. Isaac can't believe it. Her own son? The ghost says helplessly to him, didn't Melissa come here on a pilgrimage with the matriarch? Isaac calmly replies, yes, it will take them some time to finish. I just need to absorb all the mana before Melissa returns and then escape. Gowl suddenly opens the door, much to Isaac's satisfaction. He steps forward and announces, making Riley wonder. Riley, come here. Gowl continues, the matriarch is calling for you. Isaac looks over in shock. What? Riley asks in fear, Mother is back already? She's never returned this early from a pilgrimage. He clenches his fists in fear. Damn it, did they come back early because of me? Isaac places a hand on his chest where the mana is stored and worries, I still haven't absorbed all the mana yet. This is bad. He panics, predicting, with Melissa's personality, she'll definitely gut me and question me. Exclamations of awe keep coming. Oh my God. Everyone is dazzled by the precious gold, silver, and jewels. Are all these gifts for Isaac? Riley breathes a sigh of relief. I thought it was the matriarch herself. Gowl chuckles. Are you scared? He continues playfully. She's not here yet. She just sent a voice message saying she'll be back with the family head. I never said she had arrived. Isaac gets angry and curses, this damn bastard. The commander of the Blue Knights respectfully presents, Oh, the Pope has also sent a gift. An elder crosses his arms and says calmly, making another elder snort, Sell it all. The commander sweats and nervously reminds him, The Pope's messengers will hear you. They're waiting right there. A footstep approaches the group, a smooth voice saying, The Emperor is very interested in this event. This is a gift prepared by the Pope's people to express their apologies and gratitude to the Joshua family. The messenger, with a calm smile, continues. But it seems the Joshua people don't like the Pope's gift very much. He opens a gift box. However, you will surely like this one. As a dazzling light shines from the box, the lackey recounts, the cardinal said it would help Isaac a lot. The elder immediately hesitates, recognizing it. That is, a flower-shaped insignia appears, making him exclaim in surprise, The Triple Crown King! Isaac, uninterested, asks the ghost, What's that? It immediately replies with, Disgust. It's a medal. A disgusting object bearing the Pope's mark. The elder asks suspiciously, A medal from the Pope? Everyone is in disbelief. Impossible. The messenger raises his voice to get attention. Sir Riley. He says, matter-of-factly, surprising Riley, take it, it's for Isaac. He looks up, curious. It's supposed to be mine, so why is he giving it to my uncle? He trembles and questions, did he really say to give this to me and not Isaac? The messenger confirms, yes. He smirks sinisterly. I was ordered to ensure it was delivered to you. Riley glares at him furiously. The elder reaches out to the messenger and demands, Are you giving something that belongs to Isaac to another member of the family? Are you insane? He points a finger at him and threatens, You are giving this to him, knowing that giving a medal to another family member means the intended recipient is dead. Both Isaac and the ghost are startled by this information. What? The messenger still acts friendly. Oh, please don't misunderstand the Pope's good intentions. He explains, matter-of-factly, I was only instructed this way because Isaac is still too young. The elder is still furious. Then what about that on the medal's ribbon? He yells in frustration, Don't the Pope's people know that sunflowers represent that the recipient of the medal has passed away? Isaac thinks to himself, So he really wants me 6 feet under. The Pope is insane. The elder matriarch also can't contain her anger. It's just like the Pope and his family. They mock the Joshua curse with every breath. Gowl tries to intervene. Calm down, elders. We can't be rash. He gets even angrier and asks, You think we can relax, Gowl? He continues to defend them. It could be interpreted as the Joshua family being openly hostile to the Pope's house. If this gets blown out of proportion, it won't be good for the Joshua family. Gowl forces a smile and analyzes internally. This way of speaking is so demeaning. Know your place. It must be the cardinal's doing. I married into their family, but this is still so crude. He thinks of the Pope with satisfaction. Well, this means Riley and the kid won't be able to do anything anymore. So that's good for me. Gowl quickly commands, What are you doing, Riley? Accept it and say thank you. Riley can't stand it and retorts, But, brother, he cuts him off with a pleasant demeanor. There's no reason to get angry about this. Isaac sighs and raises his hand. This won't do. The messenger suddenly notices the box containing the medal. He looks questioningly at the blue flame burning inside the box. Then the messenger's hands are burned by the fire. He screams in pain and throws the box away. Gowl exclaims in horror, That's... The flame grows larger, floating in midair, making everyone realize, Holy fire! They question, Who created the holy fire? At the same time, the lackey, clutching his hands, trembles and mutters before the metal. Everyone turns and stares in disbelief at the flame appearing on Isaac's hand. They shout in unison as if to ask, while he wears a satisfied smile, "Isaac!" The church official is panicking and worried about this action, shouting, "What do you think you're doing? How dare you do that to a medal bestowed by the Pope? Is this rebellion against the Pope?" The elders take on a fighting stance, cracking their knuckles and threatening, "Does it look like we did it on purpose? A baby did it, just a baby. Why get angry at a child who isn't even old enough to receive a medal?" Joshua Riley picks up the burnt metal from the ground and says, "It's a pity this incident happened before we could receive the medal. We'll just have to pretend we never received it." The Pope's man is shocked again. "What? Are you really saying that at a time like this?" His voice becomes heavier, a warning that makes the man's face turn pale. "What do I have to do as you say?" Riley holds up the medal and says coldly, "Am I supposed to accept a medal bestowed by the Holy Father that was melted by a newborn baby?" The elder matriarch, seizing the opportunity, adds from behind with a sarcastic tone, "Oh my, has the medal really melted?" He panics, knowing he can't win, and concedes. "Give it to me. I must have brought the wrong item." A blue flame from Isaac's hand is about to be unleashed. Instantly, the flame engulfs the entire body of the church official, causing him great pain. The elder, seeing this, comes over and pinches his cheek with an affectionate tone. "Oh my, little Isaac is such a mischievous one. Isaac is furious inside. Let me go before I burn your butts too." The Pope's man stands up, his face twisted in anger. He runs away in fear, screaming, "Damn it, you damn Joshua dogs." The elders joyfully lift him up and praise him, looking at him with admiring eyes. "Well done, Isaac." As if releasing all the pent-up frustration from years, an elder angrily commands, "Get rid of that troublesome metal immediately." The elder cries with joy, unable to close his mouth, and exclaims, "If only the matriarch could have seen the look on that papal hound's face." They are still laughing with satisfaction, praising Joshua Riley. "Well done, Riley. It was all thanks to you. Using holy fire at that moment was a brilliant move." But he is confused. "What?" The elder approaches with a gleeful tone. "Kid, don't play dumb. You cast the holy fire spell on Isaac." Riley is even more confused and scratches his cheek. "Wasn't it the elders who cast it?" The atmosphere becomes silent. Everyone is bewildered. They repeatedly pass the blame and explain to each other. "The one who used the holy art on him was you, Riley, even when he entered the treasury. I only used the invisibility holy art, but Isaac used the shadow step holy art. He can use shadow step?" At this moment, the issue becomes clear. They all look at the child in horror and exclaim, "Impossible." Isaac sits indifferently, propping up his leg and scratching his ear, to everyone's surprise. Could it be that all those holy arts were cast by Isaac? Remembering the legendary book, an item he had once taken, the Ultimate Technique Scroll. It was a mythic grade treasure that allowed the possessor to instantly comprehend and use an ultimate technique. Isaac remembers entering that room, his eyes shining and his mouth watering with greed. "Good thing I took it from the treasury. It's weaker than when I was the Skeleton King, but still usable." The elders are still in disbelief, discussing among themselves. Could it have been Isaac's mother who cast the holy art on the boy? His mother doesn't have the fire attribute. She has a completely opposite attribute. Astonishment is clear on their faces as they exclaim, "This is completely beyond the concept of normal talent. It's like writing poetry without ever learning to read." Even Saintess Melissa, who was praised as a genius, had to learn the alphabet before she could use holy arts. Seeing the situation get too complicated, Isaac's face turns pale with worry. "Huh? Is that so? Sounds like a lot of pressure." But one surprise after another, only a silly realizes and speaks up. "That's right, elders. Isn't removing the Pope's blessing even more amazing?" The two elders, hearing this, also realize it, their eyes sparkling with pride. "Indeed, you really have a keen eye." He quickly orders, "Bring the medal here. I need to confirm." Riley immediately obeys. "Yes." The elder looks at the box on the table and says, "But it's not here." The elder opens his mouth in an angry shout. "What?" He points and reconfirms, "Wait, but it was definitely there." At this moment, Gowl speaks up from behind, scratching his arm. "I threw it away." Remembering that an angry elder had ordered, "Get rid of that troublesome metal immediately," everyone turns to look at him with accusing eyes. Gowl explains, "But the elders were the ones who told me to throw it away." The elder replies and orders, "No, even so, you can't do that. Hey, send someone to find it and bring it back immediately." Joshua Gowell's face darkens as he reevaluates Isaac. The boy melted a medal bestowed by the Pope, which was supposed to be able to withstand any flame. He didn't throw it away at all. The medal is still in his pocket, his mind scheming. The family head must absolutely not find out about this. He smiles with satisfaction. Without evidence, it's just a rumor. In a picturesque place of mountains and rivers, the water surfaced still a few days later at the West Duchy of Idua. The robe flutters in the wind. The head of the Joshua family, Eli Joshua, stands with his arms crossed, staring ahead. He looks at his subordinates and commands, "The mansion is just ahead. Stay focused until the very end." They shout in unison, "Yes, family head." Suddenly, something makes Joshua Eli sense it and turn his head. His face becomes hesitant, speculating, that is back at the magnificent mansion where Isaac lives. The elders all ask worriedly, "What's wrong?" Looking at the child with a full belly after drinking dozens of bottles of milk, they wonder, why hasn't the skeleton king's corpse appeared yet? Isaac rubs his belly in satisfaction. "Thanks, it really made my body feel great." The elders collapse in despair. "We've gone through 300 bottles of laxatives. We've also fed him 500 sylvan fruits from the Julius kingdom." Hearing them, only Isaac is happy, greedily thinking, that fruit was great. I heard it can even strengthen the bond with a spirit beast or something. He wears a strange smile, remembering its effect, unable to contain himself. A spirit beast can be a tool or a companion in battle. Strengthening the bond with them is no harm. They are necessary if I want to crush the Pope and the gods in the end. Isaac sits in deep thought. Surely the Joshua family also has a family spirit beast. Suddenly, he senses something, his expression changing to fear. Outside, a giant whale is flying in the air. It soars up and then dives down, splashing water everywhere. Strangely, this whale has a horn on its head. It is the spirit beast of the Joshua family, Taran Blum. Sensing something terrible approaching makes Isaac a little cautious, while the whispers continue. "Wait, should we go to the banquet first?" The door is thrown open violently. Joshua Eli strides in and announces, "Family head." His every step exudes an overwhelming aura. Elders, they immediately bow respectfully. We greet the family head, we greet the elder. Isaac looks up at the man's radiant face and thinks, so he's the head of the Joshua family? Does that mean he's my grandfather? He raises his hand to his chin, his thoughts continuing. I have a good feeling about this. The origin of survival is shining. Isaac is still wearing a strange smile when Riley rushes over, shielding him and pleading, "Father, please give us more time. Cutting open Isaac won't help." Isaac seems to have something up his sleeve and is very confident. "Uncle, don't worry. There's no way he's going to cut me open." Family head Joshua Riley raises his hand, preparing to make a decision. He points his finger, his eyes cold, and says, "Burn the boy." Riley screams in agony. Burn the boy. It is a chilling command, and one that echoes the darkest, most terrifying chapters of our own real-world history. Back in medieval Europe, during the height of the Inquisition and the infamous witch trials spanning the 15th to 17th centuries, burning at the stake wasn't simply a method of execution, it was heavily codified as the ultimate spiritual purification. Driven by genuine historical treatises like the Malleus Maleficarum or the Hammer of Witches, published in 1486, zealous inquisitors genuinely believed that fire was the absolute only element capable of cleansing a human soul of demonic corruption. To the historical church authorities, if a person was tainted by the devil's magic, only the searing heat of a massive pyre could sever that unholy contract, turning flesh to ash to guarantee the dark magic couldn't spread. It was a brutal, real-world manifestation of merciless dogma. But brilliantly intertwined with this terrifying era of fire and brimstone is a fascinating piece of medieval folklore, the myth of the salamander. According to ancient bestiaries and legendary alchemists like Paracelsus, the salamander wasn't just a simple amphibian. It was the literal elemental spirit of fire. European legends claimed that this mythical creature was born in the absolute heart of raging flames, bathed in liquid magma, and possessed a mystical skin so extraordinarily cold that it could stroll through a blazing inferno completely unscathed. In fact, folklore whispered that a true salamander could extinguish a raging fire simply by existing within it. While historical inquisitors used fire to utterly destroy those they deemed heretics, the old myths spoke of legendary beings who actually thrived in the blaze, absorbing the lethal heat to become absolutely untouchable. Now, let's bring that historical and mythological context back to our boy Isaac. The head of the Joshua family is literally acting like a medieval inquisitor, ready to mercilessly purify his own flesh and blood grandson just to retrieve a cursed relic. But what this cold-blooded grandpa completely fails to realize is that Isaac isn't some helpless historical victim about to be turned into a human s'more. Our boy has already absorbed the Skeleton King's dark mana and previously hijacked the holy fire to effortlessly roast the Pope's messenger. In this holy family's twisted, fanatical inquisition, they're basically preparing to throw a mythical fire-breathing salamander directly into a bonfire. But of course, even if you secretly know you have OP fire resistance, suddenly being sentenced to death by your newly met grandfather is a massive shock to the system. Hearing this decision, Isaac feels like he's been struck by lightning, his soul leaving his body. Just a moment ago, he was so confident, and now